The man was cursed by the will of the world. He merely took a few bites of food. The system then prompted, physique -1, health -1. Unconvinced, the man attempted cultivation again, and sure enough, the sound of force chi -1 echoed nonstop. Hearing this, Chinyu couldn't help but laugh. Then I'll just do the opposite. He pulled out a cigarette and took several fierce drags. In an instant, his force chi rose significantly. In this era, where everyone practiced martial arts, cultivating force chi was part of compulsory education. The homeroom teacher was explaining its importance, since it was required for getting into top universities. Yet Chinyu was a once-in-a-century martial prodigy with zero talent and bottom-tier grades. Even the system had given up on him and placed a reversed causality curse on him. The teacher tearfully tried to encourage him. "I won't give up on you. At least, you sweep very cleanly." His classmates mocked him wildly. Trash like him couldn't even get hired to carry bricks. Right then, the system's voice rang in Chinyu's ears. Mental damage received. Spirit +12, Charm +8, Luck +3, Confidence +5. The sudden reversal left him completely confused. To verify his theory, he slipped out of the classroom. He arrived at a small alley near the school. Seeing the system increase his force chi and vitality, he finally understood. Due to the curse, all his stat gains were reversed in nature. While walking, he bumped into a couple doing something absolutely not suitable for minors. The scene gave Chinyu an idea. He spoke up. "Hey, could you maybe do that home?" As expected, after suffering harsh ridicule, his stats increased again. He was about to leave when the woman called out to him. Chinyu turned sharply, only to find the man already turning blue. The next moment, the man collapsed before his terrified eyes. It turned out the woman wasn't human at all, but a parasite beast capable of releasing paralyzing toxic gas. "Handsome boy, want to try my little technique?" With that, she lunged at Chinyu without hesitation. Although the attack boosted his force chi and vitality, Chinyu himself was close to collapsing. What good were stats if he died? Yet Chinyu quickly calmed down. Fear alone could not solve the problem. Fortunately, in the next moment, he found a glimmer of hope. It was because the toxic breath she released could actually increase the force chi within his body. So he came up with an idea. "Beauty, your breath smells amazing. Could you give me a little more?" Hearing this, the long-tongued woman became overly excited. "If you want it, then I'll give you all of it." With that, she opened her gaping mouth and began releasing toxins wildly. Meanwhile, Chinyu greedily inhaled the poison before him. The next moment, the sounds of forced chi increase and temporary burst echoed continuously in his ears. In an instant, a tremendous power surged into his body. At this moment, his strength had already reached the peak of a level 2 martial artist. Chinyu immediately shifted to offense, tightly gripping her hands. "Now it's my turn." Upon hearing this, the long-tongued woman broke out in a cold sweat. Chinyu instantly gathered all the force chi within his body into his hands. He then unleashed a powerful strike, intentional wind fist. In an instant, a surge of powerful energy pierced through her entire body. Chinyu stared at her corpse in disbelief and couldn't help saying, "That was way too strong." At the same time, the massive explosion drew the attention of the surrounding crowd. So before they could arrive, Chinyu decided to slip away. After all, less trouble was always better. Shortly after, he returned home. As soon as he stepped inside, his mother called him over for dinner. But just as he was devouring his food, the stupid system popped out again. "Since you took a bite of rice, hunger -5, physique -1, health -." Hearing this, Chinyu felt as if struck by lightning. He had nearly forgotten about this damned cursed system. Yet it wasn't over. His older sister pulled out a chi-boosting pill she had bought through a loan, hoping to help him get through the college entrance exam. 2.5 years ago, she had her chi-si shattered during a ring match, and from then on, fell to the very bottom of society as an ordinary person. And so his older sister placed all the family's hopes on Chinyu. Seeing how much she cared about him, Chinyu naturally couldn't let her kindness go to waste. Without a moment's hesitation, he swallowed the chi-boosting pill in one go. As expected, the backlash came instantly. Due to surging medicinal power, force chi -366, physique -4, stamina -. Chinyu let out a helpless laugh. "You really are my biological sister, huh? A short while later, as he walked down the street, he swore to himself, "Someone shattered my sister's chi. This grudge must be repaid." To grow stronger as fast as possible, he started searching online for every possible way to weaken a martial artist cultivation. But all those methods involving drinking, gambling, and other vices clearly weren't suitable for him. Before long, his eyes locked on his cigarettes. The carbon monoxide and heavy metals in them were the main culprits behind cultivation decay. So he hurried over to a nearby supermarket. He pulled out the few coins he had left, grabbed a pack of cigarettes, and bolted. Then he found an empty spot and started smoking like crazy. In just 1 minute, he finished the entire pack. Right after, a system prompt appeared, corroded by toxic fumes, purified Chi plus 98. As this purified Chi poured into his body, he instantly became a level 3 martial artist. In other words, as long as the cigarettes kept coming, he was the next martial champion. Just then, footsteps in the distance cut off Chen Yu's thoughts. The newcomers were the 2 school bullies who picked on him every day. Without even greeting him, they started extorting him. "Kid, you don't want the teacher finding out you're smoking, right? Hand over the rest of those cigarettes now." Chen Yu froze for 2 seconds. Seeing no reaction from him, one of them drew back his fist, ready to punch. But in the next instant, that guy was blasted hundreds of meters away by Chen Yu. He landed flat on the ground, perfectly still. The other one, DeChun, screamed, "DeChio, bro, Chen Yu, this isn't over. I'll make sure you pay for this." Meanwhile, Chen Yu stared at his own hands in shock. A single pack of cigarettes had caused such a drastic change in him. While he was still spaced out, DeChun shamelessly launched a sneak attack. But Chen Yu simply swung back with 1 punch and sent him flying as well. Chen Yu then stripped the bully's clothes and threw them onto the street. Without looking back, he walked away. He muttered to himself, "Guess I'll have to treat cigarettes as meals. If my strength keeps skyrocketing like this, people will finally look at me differently." At that moment, his homeroom teacher suddenly appeared behind him. "Stop daydreaming, kid. Come to my office." The teacher feared Chen Yu wouldn't even get into a community college, so he started giving him secret tutoring. With no choice, Chen Yu obeyed and dropped into a horse stance. He didn't expect this to waste all the power he gained from the cigarettes. As soon as he held the stance, his force Chi visibly plummeted. Fortunately, the school broadcast sounded the next second. It announced the annual college entrance oath ceremony. The principal, nicknamed Flying Cohen Head, was passionately delivering motivational speeches. As soon as Chen Yu stepped onto the field, classmates mocked him. "What's a loser doing here?" Chen Yu simply enjoyed the insults. Compared to online trolls, these weren't even 1/10,000th as effective, and they even boosted his spirit. But the next moment, his expression changed. A tall, stunning woman approached. The former top scorer of the school and now vice chair of the Martial Artists Guild, Xingbai. She was also the one who shattered his sister's chi. Her first words were directed at him. "Trash like you has no right to take the college exam. Chen Yu, someone like you should drop out and get a job." She spat, sending phlegm flying. It landed squarely on her own boot. She sneered, "Don't say I didn't give you a chance. Kneel and lick it clean, and I'll write 3 recommendation letters for you, so you don't end up like your useless sister." Her fanboys burst into an uproar. Why is Senior rewarding this guy? Chen Yu forced down his anger. "If I fail, I'll kneel and lick your boot. But if I get into college, you'll kneel and apologize to my sister." To Xingbai, he was courting death, so she agreed instantly. Chen Yu shouted, "Look down on me today, and tomorrow you won't even dare lift your head." But before he could finish, the lady boss from the convenience store suddenly appeared. "Officer, that's the one." Chen Yu froze on the spot. He was done for. Luckily, the officer noted it was his first offense and saw that he had paid for the cigarettes, so he decided not to detain him. Little did Chen Yu know, this scene was witnessed by the principal and Xingbai. The next moment, the Flying Cohenhead principal threw an expulsion form at him. "You severely violated school rules this time. Your behavior is unacceptable. You are expelled." Seeing this, the homeroom teacher stepped forward desperately. "I'll pay for the cigarettes. Please give Chen Yu another chance." But unexpectedly, Chen Yu grabbed the expulsion notice and tore it apart. Without looking back, he walked off coolly. "Just wait. I will get into college." Xingbai smirked coldly. "Then I'll be watching." The teacher wanted to say something more, but Chen Yu cut him off. "Teacher, you've already done more than enough. Thank you for never giving up on me. I'll remember your kindness." With that, he walked away again. But not long after, he regretted it. After all, if he didn't get into college, he'd have to lick that woman's boot. Frustrated, he returned to the convenience store, ready to settle things with the lady boss. Seeing a customer enter, she chirped flirtatiously. Well, where did this cute little boy come from? Looking for Big Sis?" But once she recognized him, her expression darkened. "Wait, aren't you that cigarette thief?" Chinyu roared. "It's all your fault. You got me expelled, you know that." The lady boss snapped back. "That principal expelled you? I literally told him I wouldn't press charges." Hearing this, Chinyu calmed down and sighed. "Yeah, it was my fault. This is the consequence I earned." As soon as he finished speaking, the shop owner leaned in, pinched Chinyu's chin, and said, "Since you admitted your mistake, Sis can recommend you some jobs. With that face of yours, you'd be in demand." Chinyu immediately refused. "I'll work to pay you back, but not like that. And because of you, I lost my chance at the college entrance exam, my chance to change my life." Hearing this, the owner froze. "Did I go too far just now?" She quickly added, "Hey, don't be mad. I was just joking." But Chinyu slammed the table and snapped, "You ruined the future of a kid who genuinely wants to study. Don't you feel the slightest guilt?" His reaction made the owner panic. Maybe he really is a hardworking kid, and I ruined everything over one small mistake. That shouldn't have happened. She swallowed and asked, "Then what do you want me to do?" Chinyu suddenly pinned her against the wall, an unexpected wall slam, speaking with absolute seriousness. "Help me find a school. I'm taking the exam." The owner was stunned, secretly moved. He truly wants to study, and he's this handsome too. I almost destroyed his future. She finally nodded. "All right, I'll try to find a school for you." Hearing that, Chinyu brightened instantly. "Really? That's great." Then the owner leaned close again. "But I have one condition. You'll work here to pay off what you owe." Chinyu's mind immediately drifted. "Wait, am I about to become the male lead of one of those hot boss and employee stories?" His expression darkened. "No way. Don't tell me this is going to happen in real life." After Chun-Yu memorized all the cigarette prices, the owner left the shop, saying she was going to look for a school for him and letting him manage the store for now. The moment he imagined being squeezed dry by the capitalist and thrown into an endless cycle of brutal overtime, Chinyu panicked. "This is absolutely not the future I want." After watching the lady boss leave, Chinyu leaned back in the boss chair, crossed his legs, and started gaming. Drinking soda and slacking off while playing, his forced chi surged rapidly. He felt that repaying his debt with such an easy job was actually kind of nice. Chun-Yu believed that one day, he would hang that evil capitalist on a street lamp and whip him hard. A wage slave must master the art of slacking to fight against evil capitalists. Just then, Shampao, holding the combat strength of a level 4 martial artist, pushed open the convenience store door. Chinyu raised an eyebrow and quickly said, "Welcome. What can I get for you?" But Shampao suddenly said, "I'm looking for someone named Chinyu." Chinyu blinked and replied, "I'm Chinyu." Hearing this, Shampao revealed a strange grin. "So you're Chinyu, huh? I want a pack of cigarettes." Shampao came back here because Dachuan and Akiyu had asked him to handle something. And as their boss, Shampao would never allow his boys to be bullied. So he immediately said, "Give me a pack of Mediterranean, hard style." Seeing a customer, Chinyu quickly handed him one. 45,000. "Thank you, come again." But Shampao suddenly grabbed Chinyu's wrist. Caught off guard, Chinyu gasped, "Sir, what are you doing?" Shampao pulled out a wad of cash and sneered, "Here's 50,000. Keep the change." Chinyu froze. "Sir, I don't understand what you're trying to say." Shampao then surged his force chi and activated the martial skill Severing Palm, thinking it means the rest is for your medical bills. Shampao thought to himself with confidence, Chun-Yu is only a level 3 martial artist. There was no way he could withstand the force chi of a level for like him. "In 3 seconds, your hand will be crushed like a carrot. Get ready to die." But the next moment, sharp pain shot through Shampao's wrist. The sensation of bone cracking rushed straight to his head, and he screamed uncontrollably. Chinyu, however, held Shampao's hand with excitement and said gratefully, "Sir, thank you. This is my first real job in life, and you're the first customer to give me such a warm, heartfelt handshake." As he spoke, Chinyu lifted his other hand and slapped Shan Pao's wrist again. Another loud crack echoed. Then he shook Shan Pao's mangled hand vigorously. And you even gave me an extra 5,000 as a tip? Thank you so much for the encouragement. Shan Pao, whose wrist was now bent into a strange shape, yanked his hand back and sprinted toward the door. Seeing this, Chinyu shouted, "Sir, you forgot your Mediterranean cigarettes." When Shan Pao didn't respond, Chinyu looked at the pack in his hand and wondered, did he leave it for me on purpose? Thinking that, Chinyu didn't hesitate. He opened the pack to enjoy the customer's gift. After a full day of work, he discovered today's sales surprisingly reached more than 70,000. He opened the drawer to store the money safely so the lady boss wouldn't scold him, only to find something strange inside. Picking it up, Chinyu muttered, "Who would put something this private in here?" Suddenly, his expression changed. Wait, could it be the lady boss's? He instantly remembered Sister Chi mentioning she liked cute puppy boys and that helping her repay the debt would come with rewards. Thinking of this, Chinyu's heartbeat sped up. Doesn't this mean I'm about to have a great time? Just then, the lady boss suddenly appeared behind Chinyu. Feeling guilty, Chinyu panicked. Why are you back so soon? Hiki grabbed him by the collar and smirked. Want to come in my room? I can show you something fun. Chinyu frantically shook his head. No thanks. As she turned to leave, bored, Chinyu quickly asked, Right? Did you find a school for me? The lady boss sighed. How could it be that fast? By the way, how's your training? Since you're taking the martial artist entrance exam, you can't slack off. Thinking of his hard training, Chinyu answered confidently. I made huge progress today. I trained super hard. The lady boss nodded, then said, By the way, did you see the news? Gate 341B is an empty dimensional portal with intense radiation. Lots of people died there. Little pup, don't fool around and get close to it. Hearing that, Chinyu raised an eyebrow and thought, strong radiation? Sounds like the perfect spot for training. The next day, after spending some money and putting on a radiation suit, Chinyu arrived at Dimensional Gate 341B. Watching injured martial artists being carried out, he muttered, didn't expect this high martial world to have such advanced tech. The deadliest place in Qing City was said to be Gate 341B. It was so dangerous that the number of martial artists brave enough to explore it had dropped sharply. Anyone who still entered was basically a madman with no regard for their life. The radiation inside was extreme, almost a one-way trip. Even with such a high casualty rate, people still dared to enter. There must be some unbelievable treasure inside. Crazy. Chun Yu's expression stiffened as he muttered, Please don't let me become one of those injured. A nearby researcher walked over and began explaining how to use the protective suit. First, twist the radiation shield activation switch on your chest. That will fully start the protection layer. After that, you're free to move inside the dimensional gate. Chinyu wasted no time and headed straight toward the portal. After entering Dimensional Gate 341D, he felt as if he had stepped into a sci-fi space station. The next moment, a tingling sensation rushed through his body and his legs buckled. He felt a violent tearing sensation inside his body. Dizziness hit him, and his blood felt like it was burning. Seeing him collapse right after entering, someone complained, another reckless kid. Your force chi is that weak. Don't just walk into a dimensional gate. But in the next second, Chinyu suddenly recovered and stood up. The surrounding martial artists exploded on the spot. You little idiot. Don't freak people out like that. The system prompt kept ringing with boosts to his stats. Just standing near the entrance had already made him stronger. Chinyu cheerfully walked deeper inside, secretly thrilled. As expected, the curse flips radiation into buffs. This feeling is insane. After moving deeper into an area where almost no one would set foot, Chinyu quietly muttered to himself, according to public intel, the farther you go inside, the stronger the radiation becomes. Almost no martial artist dares to advance any further, so exploration and treasure hunting are basically limited to the entrance area of a space-time gate. The farther he walked, the more intensely Chinyu could feel the radiation source. His current martial artist level was still low, and he wasn't sure whether his body could withstand such strong radiation. But this thought was quickly thrown out of Chunyu's mind, for he felt that even if there was damage, the boost that followed would still be worth it. Thinking of this, Chunyu subconsciously quickened his pace. Just charged straight toward the radiation source. I must make some real progress today. Upon reaching an unmanned gate, Chinyu muttered, I haven't seen a single person around. No one should notice, right? Then Chinyu stepped directly inside. Seeing an empty room, Chinyu immediately decided to train here. With nervous anticipation, Chinyu switched off the radiation shielding layer. The next moment, the terrifying sensation surged toward him as high-intensity radiation made direct contact with his body. Although both pain and boosts occurred in Chun Yu's body simultaneously, he could clearly feel that he was undergoing evolution. After indulging in radiation for a full 3 hours, Chun Yu exclaimed in pure delight, "This feels amazing. How is this even called radiation?" At this moment, his overall stats had increased tremendously. Radiation that terrified ordinary people turned out to be great nourishment for him. Chun Yu felt as if a whole team of massage masters were working on him, relaxing his muscles and cleansing his body inside and out. Then Chun Yu prepared to head home. After training for half a day, not only his force chi, but also his vitality, health, immunity, strength, and even skin toughness had all greatly improved. Yet, just as Chun Yu was heading home, he suddenly saw a man and a woman not far away engaged in a fierce scuffle. The two exchanged blows evenly, neither gaining the upper hand. After a brief round of testing each other, they quickly pulled apart. The blonde man clicked his tongue in surprise. Not bad for a little girl. Though Ba Huang Yao looked like an underage girl, the heiress of the Ba Huang family glared coldly and said, "Who exactly are these people?" The blonde man scoffed, "That doesn't matter. What matters is, you're the precious heiress of the Ba Huang family, and that's all we need." Then he barked out, "Grab this brat. We'll sell her to the Fairness Guild for a great price." The dim-witted, green-haired thug charged forward, boasting, "Taste the terror of the Louis group." The next instant, Ba Huang Yao sent him flying with a single kick. She said coldly, "Louis group, right? I'll remember you." Seeing her overwhelming strength, the blonde man gathered force chi and shouted, "Use martial techniques. Attack together." But before either of them could execute their techniques, Ba Huang Yao dashed in from the side and dropped one of them with a single elbow strike. At that moment, the blonde man unleashed the martial skill Red Fist, crimson force chi surging into his hand as he attacked the unguarded Ba Huang Yao. Yet just as he thought he had her, Ba Huang Yao's figure turned into a glowing disc and vanished from sight. The blonde man hadn't even processed what happened when Ba Huang Yao appeared above him, delivering the martial skill flash butterfly in a downward kick. Caught completely off guard, he was struck hard, blasted backward and coughing blood. Struggling to stand, the blonde man muttered in disbelief, "You'd never know her true weight until you tasted it yourself." Just as Ba Huang Yao was about to interrogate him, her expression suddenly twisted. The next moment, she was struck by radiation invasion, collapsing to the ground. The blonde man burst out laughing. "Oh, I remember now. That first hidden weapon we used on you. Looks like it tore your protective suit. Lucky us. Do you know why your radiation suit broke, Miss Eris? Before you enter the gate of time-space, we had already tampered with it. A strong enough hit would make it tear instantly. Without that anti-radiation layer, even the Ba Huang family's princess is nothing more than a helpless lamb." With that, the blonde man crawled toward Ba Huang Yao excitedly, grinning wickedly. "That figure really is worthy of a Ba Huang heiress. Before we sell you to the Fairness Guild for a high price, let me enjoy you first." But just as he was about to touch her, a large hand suddenly reached out from the side and grabbed him firmly. As Ba Huang Yao slipped toward unconsciousness, she faintly heard a man's voice shouting, "Stop right there. She's still a young, innocent girl." In her final moment of clarity, she seemed to see a tall man stepping in front of her to shield her. After stopping the blonde man, Chun Yu said calmly, "A martial artist should practice restraint." But the enraged blonde man didn't care. He waved his hand and sent Chun Yu flying instantly. Chun Yu frowned midair. "Good grief, sneak attacking me? Fine, I'll take my leave for now. I'll settle the score another day." As soon as he finished, Chun Yu jumped and swung his right leg hard toward the blonde man. But the blonde man threw a punch straight into Chun Yu's face, breaking his attack and granting him over 400 points of blood chi. Seeing how weak Chun Yu was, the blonde man sneered, "I'm a level 2 martial artist. I may not match the Ba Huang heiress, But crushing a weakling with such low force chi like you is child's play. But Chenyu wasn't giving up. He got up again and launched a left front kick. Yet his force chi was too low. He was punched away once more, gaining another 700 plus blood chi points. Since Chenyu gained bonuses every time he got hurt, he didn't fear anything. He stood up again and kept going. But the gap in martial levels was too huge. All he could do was take hits while his blood chi skyrocketed. After pummeling Chenyu for quite a while, the blonde man gasped for breath. What the hell? Every punch is solid. How is he still getting up? Growing impatient, the blonde man immediately called the other two martial artists over. The three of them unleashed the martial art heavy wither together, planning to finish Chenyu. In an instant, 3 streaks of pitch black force chi burst from their hands, shooting straight toward a baffled Chenyu. The energy invaded Chenyu's body on the spot. He immediately let out a pig slaughter level scream. But at that moment, the system kept chiming. Cursed weakness detected, temporary stat boost granted. A wave of tingling washed over Chenyu, and he secretly muttered, "Damn, that feels way too good." Meanwhile, the blonde man shouted smugly, "Once you're hit by our heavy wither weak debuff art, your body grows heavy, your organs weaken, and your force chi becomes muddy, multiplying each time." Well, vision going dark yet? But Chenyu was fully immersed in the pleasure of temporary boosts, silently praising the blonde man as a true benefactor. He absolutely couldn't let them stop. Chenyu immediately flashed them an international friendly gesture and taunted, "Is that all you've got? Hit me a few more times. I'm totally fine." Hearing this, the three were enraged. "You damn bug, I'll kill you." Hit him with heavy wither again. The next moment, Chenyu tanked heavy wither with his bare body once more, enjoying the buffs while mocking pathetic. Still not enough. Furious, the three unleashed heavy wither yet again, shouting again, "Push your force chi to the max. Full power." Instantly, Chenyu howled again as all his stats spiked with massive temporary boosts. The three kept stacking the martial art on him, and Chenyu soon couldn't take it. His whole body tingled so much he couldn't even stand. Seeing this, the blonde man walked up and said coldly, "Bug, finally willing to fall over, huh?" He then activated his martial skill, snarling, "I'm going to twist your head off and use it as a basketball. I can brag about this for 2.5 years." The moment he finished, Chenyu suddenly shot to his feet and slammed a lineage-ending punch straight into the blonde man's most vulnerable spot. As the sharp pain surged through him, the blonde thug instantly passed out on the spot. The other two panicked the moment they saw this. After being beaten for so long, Chenyu immediately switched into a full beat-the-fallen-enemy mode and knocked the blonde thug out with a single punch. Then Chenyu leaped forward, dropping the green-haired thug with a right kick and knocking out the last martial artist with a front kick. After easily taking down all three, Chenyu clapped his hands and said, "So weak, down in 2 or 3 hits." After that, Chenyu began looting the three of them. But unexpectedly, the level 2 martial artist only had a pitiful 4,000 cash credits and a card. Seeing that Bahuang Yao was about to collapse, Chenyu quickly picked her up and rushed out, muttering helplessly, "Such a hassle. I still have to carry you back." Chenyu carried her out heroically. Seeing Bahuang Yao unconscious, the medical staff at the gate panicked. "She's the young lady of the Bahuang family. Call a doctor now." Watching Bahuang Yao being taken away by the medics, Chenyu muttered inwardly, "I've already done my part. The rest is on you. Time for me to get back to real business." Very soon, Chenyu returned to the depths of the radiation zone, took off his protective suit, and sighed, "Bathe in stronger radiation, become a stronger martial artist. One day, I'll surpass all of you." Instantly, the system flooded him with enhancement notifications as his physical toughness soared once again. Hearing the endless stream of prompts, Chenyu burst into joy. "At this rate, I'll get bulkier and tougher. Who even needs force chi anymore?" Chenyu looked at the gust created by his casual punch and muttered in surprise, "That force, pure strength, really can crush everything." But right then, he suddenly felt something warm drip from his nose. "Huh, why am I getting a nosebleed?" Meanwhile, the system's boost dropped from triple digits to single digits. Seeing this, Chenyu began guessing, so the increase is actually going down? Did my body hit its limit? Just like someone falling into lava? No matter how much vitality increases, they'll still melt. Did my strengthened body start resisting part of the radiation damage? With that thought, Chunyu hurriedly put his protective suit back on and sprinted toward the exit. Crap, can't keep fooling around. I need to leave this place and get cleansed before I explode. Soon he arrived at the radiation cleansing room. Upon seeing him, the purple-haired woman smiled sweetly and said, "Please remove your clothes and place them here. We need to check and clean the radiation off your body." Hearing that, Chunyu quickly removed his suit, revealing his newly strengthened physique. Seeing his explosive build, the purple-haired woman raised a brow. Impressive, practically sculpted. She then added, "Sir, this is a full-body examination. Please take off your pants as well." Hearing this, Chunyu froze. Radiation cleansing? Do I really have to get completely naked? He immediately shouted, "No way. I heard what you people were whispering earlier." Instantly, 3 medical staff surrounded him, each poking at his reinforced muscles. The purple-haired woman even offered to give Chunyu free extra lessons. But Chunyu simply turned around and left, rejecting the tempting offer. After leaving the radiation cleansing room, he couldn't help regretting it. There are plenty of chances to train with radiation, but chances for romance? Only once. Just then, walking past the martial artist test room, Chunyu was suddenly stopped by a warrior behind him. Recognizing him, the warrior scoffed, "I've seen this guy before. Isn't he the first student in history to get expelled right before the martial entrance exam?" The two men instantly burst into wild laughter. "And it's the lowest score in history. No one will ever break that record. Ha ha ha." But Chunyu politely shook their hands and said, "Seniors, your criticism is valid. My strength is low. I was hoping to learn from you both." The two then led Chunyu into the martial artist training room and offered to teach him how to use the equipment. Next, the blonde man slammed a punch onto the testing machine. The screen immediately displayed a result. Level 2 martial artist. The other martial artist sneered, "Let's bet. I bet your strength won't exceed level. Loser runs 3 laps naked around the room. Deal?" Hearing that, Chunyu burst out laughing and agreed on the spot. Then Chunyu lightly threw a punch, and the machine displayed level 3 force chi. The two men were stunned. The blonde man grabbed another testing board and yelled, "The machine must be broken. Hit this one. I'll test you myself." Seeing him deliver himself to the slaughter, Chunyu gathered his force chi and grinned, "Senior, you'd better brace yourself." A second later, Chunyu launched a brutal punch, slamming the blonde man straight into the wall. The other martial artist stared at the device, showing level 6 force chi, and went completely speechless. Chunyu then turned toward him with a wicked smile. "Senior, your turn. Let's test raw strength this time." As soon as he spoke, Chunyu stomped forward and punched again. No force chi, just sheer physical strength, yet the power was absurd. The next moment, both martial artists were stripped and tied together, exposed in front of everyone. After his radiation-enhanced training, Chunyu casually punched out a level 6 force chi reading. With 1 month before the exam, he felt confident he could enter Jing University. Thinking of his deal with Xing Bai, he secretly anticipated the day she would kneel and apologize. Excited, Chunyu climbed through the window, ready to return to the shop. But the next second, he froze on the spot. The lady boss was just waking up from bed, yawning. Chunyu muttered internally, completely confused. Did I enter the wrong room? He immediately bolted out the door. I'll go downstairs and open the store first." As usual, after going downstairs, the lady boss left right away, saying she'd look for a school for Chunyu. Chunyu respectfully sent her off. Thank you. Take care." Then he opened a drawer and placed in the several thousand yuan he had earned. Then he casually grabbed a pack of cigarettes from the shelf and muttered, "The 4,000 bucks I picked up happened to buy 4 packs. Perfect to test my limits." In the next second, Chunyu opened an entire pack and lit all of them at once. Then he grabbed a megaphone, stuffed the cigarettes into the opening, and took a massive inhale. Instantly, the system chimed non-stop, toxic fumes detected, attributes increasing. Meanwhile, inside Louis Group, the blonde thug knelt in panic. "Boss, our plan to kidnap the Bahuang family's eldest daughter failed. Someone rescued her." The man drew his weapon and shot him on the spot. "Trash. Find who did it. I'll make him wish you were dead." Back at the shop, Chunyu, who had fallen asleep, was jolted awake by a phone call. As soon as he answered, his mother anxiously said, Chun Siwon is getting engaged. Hearing that, Chin Yu jumped up, shut the shop, and rushed home. But when Chin's mother saw the bald, middle-aged man Chen Siwon brought back, she was completely stunned. At that moment, the door was kicked open and Chin Yu shouted, I don't agree to this marriage. He smirked. I watched my sister grow up since the day she was born. As her brother, I think I get to ask her future fiancé a few questions, right? He struck an interrogation pose. Relax, just a few simple questions. Tell me your basic info first. The bald man answered calmly. My name is Wang Xiao, 34. I'm her boss. I own a villa, several apartments, multiple cars, and enough savings to support her for life. Chin Yu frowned. And what exactly made you fall in love with my sister? The bald man snickered. She's got a big personality and a round figure. Chin Yu's face went dark. That's it. The bald man hurried to add, she's also gentle. Chin Yu patted his shoulder. Sorry, but I can't approve this marriage. Before he finished, Chen Siwon yanked him by the ear and dragged him into the room. Inside, she snapped, Chin Yu, what are you trying to do? Chin Yu raised a brow. Are you marrying him because you like him? Or because you want a sugar daddy to buy chi-boosting pills for me? Exposed, Chen Siwon murmured, you don't understand. Ordinary life is too hard. Some unspoken exchanges matter more than so-called feelings. The exam is days away. You need money. The family needs money. And so do I. After hearing Chan Siwon's explanation, Chin Yu suddenly pushed the door open and shouted, Brother-in-law, I agree to your marriage. Then he grabbed Wang Xiao and dragged him outside. To make up for earlier, let me take you out for a walk. Soon, Chin Yu brought Wang Xiao to the entrance of a luxurious indoor foot spa club. Wang Xiao frowned. You brought me to foot spa club? Chin Yu admitted without hesitation. Yeah, I always wanted to come, but it was too expensive. As soon as they entered, a staff member leaned close to Wang Xiao and whispered, a new girl arrived recently, super wild. But Wang Xiao suddenly sighed. Forget it. Not tonight. That's my future little brother-in-law. The staff member raised a brow. He's just a kid. A few drinks will handle him. Once inside the private room, Wang Xiao immediately took out a wad of cash and laughed. Tonight's mission is to make Brother Yu happy. Whoever makes him drink a cup gets 1,000. As soon as he said that, a well-endowed girl sat beside Chin Yu. Brother Yu, will you drink my cup first? While Chin Yu was still confused, the girl leaned forward generously. The drink's right here. Chin Yu fired up, down a glass in one go. The system chimed. Sobriety +5, health +2. Seeing how cooperative he was, all the girls swarmed around. Brother, you can't drink only hers and not ours. After a few cups, Chin Yu grinned at Wang Xiao. Brother-in-law, you pay 1,000 for each drink they make me take. So how much do I get when I drink a cup? Hearing that, Wang Xiao waved his hand boldly and slapped a stack of cash onto the table. Drink it, and these 30,000 are yours. Chin Yu downed the drink again, thinking, that's enough playing around. Time to pretend I'm drunk. He immediately slumped onto the table like he passed out. Wang Xiao, excited beyond measure, shouted, the wonderful night has only just begun. While Wang Xiao began to enjoy himself, Chin Yu had already positioned a phone perfectly. The live stream exploded in bright, chaotic visuals, making countless viewers get nosebleeds. Before long, the police stormed in, and the utterly confused Wang Xiao was taken away. After sending Wang Xiao to the station, Chin Yu rushed back to the shop. But as soon as he entered, he saw the lady boss sitting at his workstation, smiling lightly. Your school problem is solved. Hearing that, Chin Yu instantly lit up. Which school is it? But the lady boss lifted her delicate foot, teasing him. Think about how you plan to repay me first. Chin Yu immediately spiraled in excitement. Is she hinting at that? Is heaven about to descend on me? Just then, the arrival of a delivery driver interrupted his thoughts. After checking the goods, Chin Yu turned to head back inside, only for 3 silhouettes to suddenly appear behind him. One warrior whispered, second, third, location and target confirmed. Right? It's him? The Shamate trio stepped out from the alley, calling out to Chin Yu. Chin Yu stopped, puzzled. Who are you guys? The 3 men struck ridiculously dramatic poses and shouted, We're the Shamate Battle Squad. You ruined our plan to kidnap the 8 wilderness heiress in the 341B zone and crippled our brother. An insult from head to toe that we will not tolerate. The blond man suddenly suggested, "Boss, should we just go into the cigarette shop and finish him off?" The red-haired man snapped, "Idiot. The boss ordered us to take him alive, then break his third leg afterward." Hearing that, Chun Yu's expression changed instantly. "Did you just say you're going to castrate me?" The Shamate battle squad didn't bother talking anymore. They charged straight at Chun Yu. Chun Yu stayed perfectly calm. One left front kick, one right round kick, then a left straight punch. Fight over. Seeing this, the red-haired man panicked. "You took out a level. One martial artist in 2 moves? What level are you? We have no grudges with you. Why are you targeting us?" Chun Yu cracked his knuckles. "Losing and crying victim. Huh? Shouldn't I be asking that? Why are you coming after an 8-level martial artist like me?" The red-haired man froze in shock. Level 8. No wonder the organization is so desperate to handle him. Then he quickly added, "We just wanted to bring you back to discuss cooperation." But a second later, he snapped back to reality. "Hold up. There's no such thing as a level 8 martial artist. You're lying. In our world, loyalty comes first. Even if you beat me to death, I'll never betray the boss." But after taking a few of Chun Yu's brutal punches, Lee Kura changed his tune. "Louis Group is one of the shareholders of the 341 Beat Qingqing portal. You ruined our plan to kidnap the heiress of the 8 Wilderness family and injured our people. That's why we're after you." Chun Yu frowned. "So you were in the same group as those 3 idiots." Louis Group claims to be prestigious, yet works on trashy schemes like this behind the scenes. The red-haired man puffed up again. "You'd better come with me obediently. Otherwise, the organization won't let you walk away. Even if you can protect yourself, what about your family? With our reach, making your entire household disappear would be effortless." Hearing that, Chun Yu's face darkened, finally realizing how serious the situation was. Moments later, an officer at the police station shouted, "Captain, bad news, look outside." Outside, the entire Shamate battle squad had already been tied to a streetlight post, fully exposed. The recorder above kept replaying everything the red-haired man had said earlier. After taking down the Shamate battle squad, Chun Yu couldn't help feeling a rising sense of danger. Didn't expect the trouble to be this big. At the Kiryu pawn shop, Chun Yu made up his mind. They dare to threaten my family. Louis Group must be uprooted. There's no other way. I'll use the money I looted from the guys who tried to kidnap Bahuang Yao, plus the cash from my sister's bald boyfriend, to buy some gear. The shop owner frowned slightly when he saw how young Chun Yu was. "Welcome. Pawning or purchasing?" Chun Yu, fully prepared, pulled out a list. "These are what I need. Do you have them?" After reading it, the owner raised his brows. "These items, they're all pretty aggressive toys. Whether I have them isn't the question. As long as you've got the cash, the black market delivers." Cut to Louis Tower. One of the martial artists reported respectfully, "Boss, the 3 men we sent to capture the target were taken to the station." The man with glasses clicked his tongue in disgust. "I know. I've got people inside the police. I'll handle it." Then his tone turned icy. "A bunch of useless trash. Can't even deal with a high schooler." He added, "Contact the level 2 martial artist mercenary. Have him send Chun Yu's whole family to hell." After his orders were set, another martial artist approached respectfully with wine. "Boss, the aged red wine has been opened and aerated." Staring at the premium wine in his glass, the man with glasses chuckled. "Fragrant, rich, truly irresistible. A mere brat dared interfere with our plan to capture Bahuang Yao and even oppose the Louis Group. I'll skin him alive." The very next second, the man with glasses spat out the red wine he had just tasted. Furious, he yelled, "What is this? Why does it smell like piss?" His subordinate hurriedly explained, "Impossible. This was a newly opened premium wine. There's no way it should." The man with glasses smashed the decanter on the martial artist's head. "Idiots. Did the procurement team buy counterfeit wine to pocket the difference? Investigate immediately." Just as the martial artist was about to leave, the front door was kicked open with a deafening crash. Everyone froze. No one expected someone to storm in head-on. Fully geared up, Chun Yu walked inside and smirked. "How is it? My special flavor. Rich and unforgettable, right?" The man with glasses frowned. "You brat. You beat up my men earlier. And now you dare come here yourself? Chinyu raised a brow calmly. Weren't you looking for me? Well, I'm here. He then grinned slyly. So, how's the taste? The man with glasses exploded. You little bastard. You tainted my premium wine with that. He waved his hand fiercely. Get him. Skin this kid alive. Immediately, the martial artists surrounded Chinyu. But Chinyu, fully prepared, didn't panic. He pulled out a spray bottle and blasted it around. Screams erupted instantly. My eyes. The man with glasses gritted his teeth. Pepper spray? That's all you brought? You think you could take us on with that toy? Holding his ultra-concentrated chili mustard spray worth 5,000 yuan, Chinyu grinned. Oh, this isn't a toy. It's a gift. Just not for you. As soon as he finished speaking, Chinyu grabbed the spray and blasted it directly into his own face. In the next second, he emptied the entire bottle, instantly gaining a 90% boost in dynamic vision. Seeing this insane move, the man with glasses exploded. Is this guy out of his mind? Everyone left. Take him down. The moment he shouted, several martial artists rushed in and surrounded Chinyu again. But with his enhanced vision, Chinyu weaved through the crowd, striking freely while none of the martial artists could touch him. Even when they attacked from both sides, Chinyu handled it with ease, overwhelming them completely. Watching Chinyu fight like this, the man with glasses froze. These are all level 1 close combat martial artists, and he dropped them instantly. He then gasped, Who the hell are you? There's no way you're just a high school student. Chinyu, having defeated them with ease, replied calmly, That's easy. I'm the good guy, and you're the bad guy. With that, he drew the long sword on his back and lunged straight at the man with glasses. But just as he was about to strike, a fist suddenly smashed into his face. Interrupted mid-attack, Chinyu snapped, Who the hell? The man with glasses, seeing his savior, let out a relieved sigh. Excellent. You finally came. Worth every dollar. Chris, a level 3 martial artist, blocked Chinyu and said calmly, Boss, apologies for being late. Chinyu leaped up again and growled, Where'd this 300-pound pale pig come from? I'll chop you up and grill you. Chris simply stood his ground and unleashed the martial skill Illusory Palm Barrage, sending countless Force Chi form palm shadows crashing into Chinyu. Then he grabbed the mid-air Chinyu, slammed him down with a gravity suplex, smashing him into the floor. Seeing Chinyu dropped, the man with glasses cheered, Beautiful. Chris, your year-end bonus just doubled. Chris smirked. Force Chi, agility, strength response, all terrible. Chris looked down at him with a vicious grin. With that level of strength you dare to charge the Louis group alone? Idiot. The next second, Chinyu suddenly sprang up, raising his long sword to ambush the man with glasses. But Chris caught the weapon instantly. Chris said coldly, Stop dreaming. A sneak attack isn't a bad idea, but the gap between us is far too big. The man with glasses burst into laughter. Excellent, Chris. Hold him still. Let me finish him myself. In the same instant, the man with glasses pulled out his weapon and aimed straight at Chinyu's head. But the very next second, his expression twisted in shock. Chinyu had already pulled the pin on a grenade and said sternly, Move again, and I'll let go. We all die together. The man with glasses scoffed. Who are you trying to scare? If you got the guts, drop it. The moment he finished, a crisp click sounded, followed by a blinding flash erupting from Chinyu's hand. Both men screamed instantly. Bastard! A flashbang. You little brat. I'll tear you apart. At that moment, the system chimed. Strong light damage detected. Temporary vision +4. Sonic damage detected. Temporary hearing +2. Temporary balance +1,700. Temporary mental stability +4. Chinyu rubbed his face and smiled lightly. Just as I expected. He grabbed his long sword, charged at Chris, and sneered. So even a level 3 martial artist is scared of flashbang. Blind and unable to react, Chris couldn't defend as Chunyu's blade swung toward his most vulnerable spot. In the next instant, the long sword came down, and with a sharp swish was sliced clean in half. Chris let out a shrill scream. No, I don't want to become a girl. Enraged, he punched wildly in Chunyu's direction, but Chinyu ducked cleanly beneath it. Chinyu countered instantly, driving a punch toward Chris's already injured area. A moment later, a crisp, devastating cracking sound rang out. The intense pain was something even a level 3 martial artists couldn't endure, and he passed out on the spot. Seeing this, The man with glasses immediately burst into curses. A bunch of useless trash. I spent so much money hiring you worthless fighters as security. At that moment, Chinyu had already walked up to the man with glasses, saying coldly, "You're the one who wanted me dead, and you're the one who targeted my family. To eliminate future trouble, I can only remove you." Hearing this, the man with glasses instantly put on a remorseful expression and cried, "I planned everything myself. It has nothing to do with the Louis Group. I know I was wrong. Please give me a chance to change. I want to be a good man." After listening to his sobbing and begging, Chunyu fell silent. Then he suddenly sheathed his weapon, turning away as he said, "I hope you can truly reform and stop doing evil." Kneeling on the ground, the man with glasses kept expressing his gratitude. But in his heart, he cursed, "Idiot, the humiliation I suffered today. I'll make you pay back 100-fold." Gritting his teeth, he muttered, "Tomorrow I'll feed your whole family to the dogs." Just then, Chunyu, who had reached the door, casually tossed a grenade behind him and said calmly, "You change your mind, so go die." When the grenade hit the floor and rolled, the man with glasses panicked and bolted. After rushing to the window, he leaped, hoping to break through the glass and escape. What he failed to realize was that he was on the 33rd floor. That jump meant almost certain death. Hearing the screams from outside, Chunyu muttered, "What an idiot. With this level of intelligence, he's supposed to be the boss of Louis Group? He even dared kidnap the young lady of the Bahuang family. And he's scared of the plastic toy grenade model I bought for $10? Meanwhile, inside the Qingchang government building, an emergency meeting had already begun. After gathering everyone, the director spoke at once. Xingbai is a top student at Capital University, one of the nation's elites. It's been 4 days. She should have been found even if we had to dig 3 feet underground. A subordinate beside them spoke with a grim expression. Xingbai's squad signal disappeared in the danger zone. It's probably bad news. But just then, the meeting room doors were suddenly thrown open. Covered in wounds and blood, Xingbai staggered into view. Seeing that she had clearly survived with great difficulty, the director became emotional. "Who are you? How did you end up like this?" Xingbai brushed back her hair and said calmly, "Our squad's mission was to investigate beasts outside the city. Other than me, all 3 of my teammates were killed." Then she spoke again. "A beast tide is coming, and this time, its target is Qingchang City." Hearing that, the director instantly panicked. Xingbai walked up to him and said quietly, "Sound a citywide air raid alarm. Prepare to fight for your lives." The air raid sirens immediately echoed throughout the city. The lady boss, knowing a beast tide meant massive casualties, instantly grabbed him and ran. But all main roads had already been sealed, and shouts filled the air. "Everyone stay inside. Prioritize evacuation of minors and pregnant women." Hearing this, his heart trembled. This was the cruel survival strategy humans had devised against beast tides. Cries spread across the city, and children were forced to separate from their parents to enter shelters. All martial artists above level 1 were drafted to gather at the East Wall. The lady boss hurriedly pushed him into a taxi. She told the driver to take him to the student shelter. He quickly asked, "Then where are you going?" She replied without turning back, "The East Wall." She ran against the flow of the crowd toward the East Wall, because even a level 1 martial artist, though essentially doomed in a beast tide, still had to fight. Before long, he and the little girl arrived at the Qingcheng evacuation center by taxi. After they got out, the driver urgently warned, "If you stay alive, then the warrior's sacrifice has meaning. Don't do anything foolish." Chunyu quickly called his mother. "Mom, I've reached the evacuation point." At that moment, someone suddenly interrupted him from behind. His older sister folded her arms and said, "Why aren't you at home packing for evacuation? What are you doing here?" She paused, then added, "All right, the bank book is already in your bag. I also packed some supplies for you. You'll need them when you evacuate." Just as Chunyu was about to speak, his sister suddenly hugged him tightly. "Idiot, the beast tide is coming. There's no time for a second batch of evacuees. Reality is cruel, so you must live well." After speaking, tears suddenly streamed down her face. "Mom is still waiting at home. I need to hurry back." Watching her leave, Chinyu couldn't help thinking, "Am I supposed to escape alone while my family stays behind to die?" All the memories from these past days surged through his mind. The next moment, he suddenly dashed toward the Eastern District. As a citizen of Huaxia, How could I be someone who fears death? Very soon, he arrived beneath the East Gate. At the same time, the commander was shouting, "All martial artists of level 1 and above. Your names have been registered. Anyone who deserts will be executed on the spot." Hearing this, the martial artists glanced at each other. Chinyu muttered inwardly, "So, not everyone is prepared to die." At that moment, a pink-haired girl being escorted by soldiers heard she would have to fight the beast tied to the death. She erupted with a sudden burst of strength, blasting the soldiers away. The next moment, freed from restraint, she swung a dagger straight toward Chunyu's abdomen. "Since we're all going to die anyway, I'll kill you first." However, under the system buff, Chinyu only suffered minor poison damage. The pink-haired woman was stunned. The poison on that dagger was strong enough to kill even a level 2 beast. Without giving her time to react, Chunyu gathered his force chi and blasted her away with a punch. "Preying on the weak, you disgust me." Fallen to the ground, the pink-haired woman refused to accept defeat, claiming she only wanted to survive. Chunyu glared at her. "And those waiting to die at home, do they not want to live? Do the other martial artists not want to live?" He then looked up slightly. If every person only thinks about themselves in times of crisis, humanity would have gone extinct already. With that, he leaped up and landed on the city wall. Facing the raging beast tied ahead, Chinyu couldn't help but worry. Can we really survive this? Meanwhile, once the commander saw all martial artists assembled, he began his battle speech. "Qing City is our shared home. I will defend its honor together with you." As soon as he finished, the martial artists surged onto the wall. The battle between humans and beasts was about to erupt. Chunyu quickly headed up as well, thinking, "So this is the battlefield. This killing intent feels like it's freezing my whole body." The moment he stood on the wall, the surrounding beasts immediately locked onto him. Before they could strike, his sword flashed, cutting down the incoming beasts in rapid succession. After sweeping through the area, he frowned. "I've searched everywhere. Still no sign of the lady boss." Suddenly, a thin thread shot toward him. With sharp reflexes, he dodged. Yet shimmering threads of spider silk had already surrounded him. The attacker was clearly a level 2 beast. In the next instant, the spider's silk tightened sharply, yanking Chinyu up into the air. Once she had Chinyu firmly restrained, the spider woman sneered, "You killed so many of my kin. I'll torture you slowly, then tear you into pieces." Chinyu shot back, taunting, "It's bad enough you're ugly. Did you have to be this ugly?" Enraged, the spider woman tightened the spider's silk around him. Seeing him struggle, she laughed, "My silk only gets tighter the more you fight. You're a little fish with nowhere to run." At that moment, the system suddenly popped up with an attribute increase prompt. Chinyu instantly acted excited and teased. "Let me go. You're squeezing me so hard I don't even want to go out anymore." Her fury exploded. She pulled the steel-hard spider's silk tight, intending to slice him apart instantly. Chunyu stopped pretending and swung his sword, sending her to the afterlife. A level 2 beast can't stop me anymore. But before he could even breathe, from the beast hide outside the city, a colossal, horrifying creature charged toward the wall. A level 5 beast, Jinyu Dulin. The commander saw this and immediately ordered the attack. With an ear-splitting roar, thousands of shells tore through the sky into the black fog, raining down on the beast horde. Huge blasts of fire erupted, blasting the charging beasts into severe injuries. Yet moments later, their torn flesh regenerated at a speed visible to the naked eye. Before anyone could react, the entire beast horde had healed completely. The soldiers on the wall panicked. "It's over. We're done. How can we possibly fight this?" At the same time, Jinyu Dulin rose sharply, its abdomen swelling rapidly. The next instant, it unleashed a thunderous roar and sprayed countless masses of green fluid toward the wall. Seeing the toxic liquid flying toward him, even Chunyu didn't dare take it head-on and sprinted away. The moment the liquid hit the wall, massive chunks were corroded into deep pits. An elder beside, Chunyu muttered in despair, "The monster boss is bleeding poison. We're finished. The suicide squad down there is doomed." Hearing this, Chunyu frowned tightly, a bad feeling rising in his chest. He grabbed his weapon and sprinted toward the bottom of the wall. "Don't tell me. The lady boss is with the suicide squad?" Meanwhile, the suicide squad below had been surrounded entirely by the beast horde and was on the brink of being wiped out. The lady boss, a level 1 martial artist, was among them, desperately fending off beasts from all sides. But there were simply too many. For every beast she cut down, more immediately swarmed forward. Suddenly, the massive form of Jinyu Dulin emerged from the distance. The lady boss froze instantly, staring in disbelief. Her husband had died at Jinyu Dulin's claws. She burst out her force chi, coating her entire body. "I think about you every day, thinking about how to kill you." With that shout, she stomped the ground and launched herself straight at Jinyu Dulin. Chunyu, descending the wall, witnessed the scene clearly. As he prepared to jump in, an old man blocked him. "Don't go. You'll die for nothing." But Chunyu leapt off the wall anyway. "You're right, but I'm stubborn. I don't turn back unless I hit the wall myself." At the same time, the lady boss's full power strike pierced into Jinyu Dulin's eye. Taste what force chi feels like exploding inside you. The eye detonated violently. The explosion stunned her momentarily. But before 2.5 seconds even passed, Jinyu Dulin's eye regenerated at a terrifying, visible speed. As the beast lunged at her again, despair filled her eyes. "Still not enough? I'm sorry, dear. I couldn't avenge you. I'm so unwilling. If only someone could help me." She shut her eyes, surrendering. Right then, Chinyu flashed in front of her, smiling lightly. "Lady Boss giving up already?" He picked her up in his arms and began to retreat rapidly. But Jinyu Dulin was far too fast. Chinyu couldn't dodge in time. With a deafening thud, its claws sent him flying hundreds of meters. Fortunately, thanks to the system buff, his body remained unharmed. As he landed, he smirked confidently. Chinyu thought to himself, "Looks like I gambled right," using the giant beast's force to break away. Good thing it wasn't a fatal blow, or I'd be done for. The lady boss snapped back to her senses and asked urgently, "Are you okay? Let me see the wound." But her expression changed sharply before she finished. Chinyu immediately pulled out his firearm and opened rapid fire on the pursuing beasts. In seconds, the beast horde surrounded them again, though Jinyu Dulin was blocked outside. Chinyu reassured her, "Relax. We'll use the beasts as a natural shield. Jinyu Dulin can't get through." Working together, the two quickly carved out a path. Chinyu said, "As long as we push toward the wall, we can break out." But just then, Jinyu Dulin roared and unleashed another torrent of corrosive green liquid. Chinyu immediately picked up the lady boss and sprinted. Wherever the venom hit, beast melted into bones instantly. He muttered, "Doesn't care about its own allies at all." Seeing Chunyu run so fast, Jinyu Dulin grew furious and fired even more venom at him. Chunyu weaved through multiple streams of poison, dodging most attacks narrowly. But to shield the lady boss from the green venom, even with his careful movements, some still splashed onto him. At once, the system chimed in, "Unknown poison detected. Temporary health plus 400, temporary agility plus 500. Just as Chunyu was stunned, a crimson tongue shot toward them, wrapping around the lady boss's leg. Jinyu Dulin violently swung its tongue, smashing her into the ground and sending her into critical condition instantly. She completely lost the ability to move. Jinyu Dulin opened its massive jaws and hurled another blast of green venom, intent on finishing her off. The lady boss stared blankly as the poison rushed toward her. At that moment, Chunyu suddenly dashed in from the side and blocked the deadly venom with his back. A wave of unbearable pain erupted, spreading from his back through his entire body. Seeing him risk his life, the lady boss panicked. "Are you crazy? Why go this far?" Chunyu could no longer speak. Thick smoke rose from his body as if he might collapse at any second. The lady boss gently cupped his face, eyes filled with tears. "I really don't know how I could ever repay you." With what little consciousness he had left, Chinyu forced a mischievous grin. "Then, take me to Qing Shui Entertainment Club. Call it repayment." At that moment, the system chimed, "Unknown poison detected. Temporary health plus 21,000. Temporary agility plus 39,000. Temporary force chi plus 65,000. A surge of golden force chi burst out from his body, boosting his power dramatically. Feeling the rising energy, Chinyu grinned. "Just as I guessed. As long as it doesn't one-shot me, I can turn poison into vitality. Seeing how durable he was, Jingyu Dulin became furious. With a roar, the beast horde surged toward them again. In an instant, Chun Yu, who had already broken through once, was surrounded again. The beasts lunged at the two. A pillar of golden force chi shot into the sky, blasting away all nearby beasts. Bathed in pure chi, Chun Yu's eyes turned golden as he locked onto Jingyu Dulin. Believing he was exhausted, Jingyu Dulin charged at him, but Chun Yu had been gathering strength. He threw a single punch and sent the beast to its death instantly. His strength then gave out, and he collapsed backward. Still too much for now. Just before he hit the ground, the lady boss leapt forward and caught him. Holding the exhausted Chun Yu in her arms, she declared firmly, "Leave the rest to me. Even if it costs my life, I'll protect you." Meanwhile, the beast tide continued charging at the wall. Even without their leader, their overwhelming numbers kept them terrifyingly strong. A soldier beside the commander spoke urgently. Estimated martial artist casualties exceed 90%. At this pace, the beast will break through the wall in 1 minute. For your safety, please evacuate. But the commander answered firmly, "I will fight for Qing City until the very last moment." Suddenly, the beasts that were about to breach the wall halted and turned their gaze in another direction. The entire beast tide then shifted, rapidly changing direction. The commander was stunned. Why would the beast suddenly turn away? Meanwhile, on a cliff more than 10 kilometers from Qing City, 4 figures watched the beast tide below, seemingly having made a grave decision. The leading captain said quietly, "He'll take full responsibility. Worst case, he atones with his life. Let's go." At that same moment, Chun Yu opened his eyes on a hospital bed in Qing City. He froze. Wait, did I die? Seeing the nurse giving him N4 and feeding him medicine, he seriously wondered whether he had entered heaven. Then he stiffened. Hold on. Why would I take medicine if I died? Something's wrong. I'm alive, and Qing City is fine? Chun Yu immediately bolted from the bed, shouting, "Don't chase me. I'm not taking medicine. Other people are saved by medicine. I die from it." Just as he tried to escape, he abruptly stopped. The lady boss, Sister Chi, was lying unconscious on a nearby bed, while the doctors and nurses looked troubled. After a long silence, the doctor finally said, "Has any family arrived?" The patient collapsed from severe physical overuse. Immediate treatment is required or brain damage will soon occur. Hearing this, Chun Yu grew anxious. "I'm the patient's family member. Doctor, please treat her immediately." But the doctor said bluntly, "The surgery will cost around 400,000. Chun Yu's expression darkened. She was injured protecting Qing City. Doesn't the government cover this? The doctor quickly explained, "I understand your feelings, but curing her requires several martial artists to continuously infuse force chi for more than 10 hours. They may suffer their own chi depletion as well." Hearing this, Chun Yu understood instantly. "So that's how it is. Then hurry up and begin." The doctor sighed in relief. "So we're starting treatment? Then please go downstairs and pay first. We'll contact the government office." But Chun Yu shook his head. "I meant begin the discharge process." The doctor's face changed instantly. Chun Yu, meanwhile, packed his things and muttered, "Because of the curse, my force chi never runs out. I'm the one best suited to save the lady boss." Soon, Chun Yu brought her back to the shop to begin transferring force chi to Sister Chi. He sat like a monk, completely focused, repeatedly reminding himself that everything he was doing was purely for treatment. By early morning, after an entire night of continuous force chi infusion, Sister Chi finally recovered. As she got up, she stretched lazily. "My body feels warm, so comfortable." Then she suddenly noticed something strange. She yanked the blanket over herself in shock. "Wait, what happened? Where are my clothes?" The next moment, she saw the nearly exhausted Chun Yu and snapped, "Why did you come into my room? And why do you look like that?" Chun Yu immediately put on a pitiful face. "You don't remember? How can you not remember? Last night, you dragged me in, saying you needed me nonstop." He waved his hand dramatically. "Forget it. I won't make you take responsibility." Sister Chi froze on the spot. Did I really force him to do something shameful last night?" She stammered, embarrassed, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to try the flavor of a little puppy boy." Chun Yu burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha. I didn't expect you to be like this. I was only transferring force chi to heal you. Instantly, Sister Chi jumped up, furious. Oh, you think that's funny? You beast! I took off my clothes, and you still didn't do anything. As soon as she finished speaking, Sister Chi lifted her leg and kicked Chun Yu straight out of the room. Thrown out, Chun Yu sighed irritably. Women, their hearts are impossible to figure out. He checked the time on his phone and muttered, I've been busy healing the lady boss. I wonder how my sister and mother are doing, and how did Qing City even survive the beast tide? Meanwhile, the entrance of a shelter was already packed with people. Chen Yu's mother kept grabbing passing students, asking, Student, do you know Chen Yu? Have you seen him? Why hasn't he come out yet? Seeing her mother on the verge of breaking down, Chen Siwen quickly tried to comfort her. Mom, don't do this. At that moment, Chen Yu's voice suddenly came from the side. Mom, I'm right here. The moment they saw him safe, all the sorrow on their faces vanished instantly. Chen Siwen rushed over and hugged him tightly, crying, You scare me to death. I thought you'd been transferred to Crane City. Chen Yu blinked. Crane City? What happened? She explained quickly. For some unknown reason, the beast tide abandoned Qing City and charged toward Crane City instead. At 3:40 p.m., the beasts reached Crane City's north wall. At 4 p.m., all communication was lost. By 4:10, Crane City no longer existed. Chen Yu's expression changed drastically. He never imagined an entire city could disappear in only half an hour. Meanwhile, all of Qing City was broadcasting the mayor's memorial speech for Crane City. Disaster has struck us once again. Our brothers, our people, that final expression on your faces, we will remember it forever. Then the mayor raised his fist and shouted, May humanity endure. Instantly, the people of Qing City erupted in emotion. Time passed quickly. 5 days later, Chun Yu once again stepped into the depths of the 341B time gate. Looking at his status panel, Chun Yu murmured to himself, After all that trouble, my level's back to where it was. With exams coming up, I really need to get stronger. Soon, he noticed many large iron spheres floating inside the time gate. These things, could something be inside them? The thought barely formed before Chun Yu grabbed his weapon and slashed one open. As the spheres split apart, thick black liquid poured out, revealing an electronic circuit board inside. Seeing this, Chun Yu muttered, Don't tell me this is some kind of future tech? Then a bold idea popped into his head. This stuff must be worth a fortune. He immediately began searching through the time gate, frantically collecting more circuit boards. During one cut, black liquid splashed onto Chun Yu's skin. Instantly, the system prompt rang, infected by unknown liquid. Force Chi +1, Force Chi +1. Hearing this, Chun Yu beamed. Jackpot! This weird oil actually boosts Force Chi. He sped up his scavenging while deliberately using the liquid to enhance his Force Chi. Back home, Chun Yu looked at the circuit boards he'd gathered. Feels like I'm opening mystery boxes. While inspecting them, he suddenly found a memory card hidden inside one board. Staring at it, he muttered in surprise, a high-tech board from the other world actually has a memory card humans can use? The more he thought about it, the more uneasy he felt. He inserted the card into his computer. When the device recognized it instantly, he whispered, Did I accidentally uncover some huge secret? After opening the files on a memory card, all he saw were lines of gibberish, with single words like life, reverse birth, reassemble, and rich cells repeating over and over. Chun Yu immediately guessed, What is this? Don't tell me it's talking about bringing the dead back to life? Just then, the door to his room was suddenly pushed open by Sister Chi, making Chun Yu jolt in shock. He quickly pulled the memory card out. Seeing his guilty expression, Sister Chi curved her lips into a mischievous smile. 4 days left before the college entrance exam. Your homeroom teacher wants you to go to number 7 high. Then she leaned right over the computer screen and asked curiously, What were you looking at? Let me see. When she saw her own photo on the screen, Sister Chi arched a brow. Well, using my picture as your wallpaper? Do you secretly like me? Chun Yu snapped back, annoyed. You really don't think about it, huh? This is your computer. After Sister Chi left the room, Chun Yu checked the ticket prices for the exam venue and muttered, Row H1 is $50,000 per ticket. Row 2 is $35,000. The outrageous price gave him a headache. They're basically robbing people. And that's just regular seating. Even 2 Row 2 tickets would cost $70,000. Where am I supposed to get that kind of money? With no alternatives, Chun Yu went back to the Kiryu pawn shop, planning to sell something. Walking in, he immediately pleaded to the boss lady, "Sis, give me a good price, okay? I'll sell you the treasure." At that moment, little Gaga finished examining the mysterious motherboard and spoke up. "Based on isotope analysis, this is the first confirmed product from the Green City Rift." Then he added to Chunyu, "The analysis matches what you said. The price depends on further negotiation." Hearing that, Chunyu proudly grabbed the motherboard. "See, I wasn't lying. This is the very first item produced by the 341B Timespace Gate. A one-of-a-kind treasure. I'll give you a discount, 1 million. But the boss lady ignored his offer and simply said, 20,000. Chunyu immediately panicked. That wasn't bargaining. This was robbery. He patted the motherboard and pitched hard. "This is the first one. If the Kiryu group were the first to discover this time-space gate, your reputation would skyrocket, right?" Then Chunyu stretched out his hand. "Sincere price, 50,000. But the boss lady shook her head. 10,000. Being first only proves you got lucky. The publicity value is limited." Hearing that, Chunyu turned away in disappointment. "Then I'll go ask the black market next door." The boss lady chuckled. "Final price, 30,000. If you don't like it, leave." Before she even finished, Chunyu spun back around, grabbed her hand, and grinned. "Deal." The boss lady eyed him suspiciously. "You have to promise. The first item brought out from the rift belongs to our Kiryu group." But Chunyu cheerfully pulled out 2 more motherboards from behind him. "Since one is 30,000, I'll sell you 2 more." The boss lady rolled her eyes. 30,000 is for the first one. The rest are 25,000. Hearing that, Chunyu enthusiastically shook her hand. "Deal. The first 3 items from the rift are all yours." Then Chunyu pulled out 2 more motherboards, grinning. "Then I'll sell these 2. The boss lady finally snapped, grabbed him, and flipped him over her shoulder. "Daring to play me?" Seeing she was serious, Chunyu stuffed the money into his pocket and ran for his life. After counting the money, he sighed in disappointment. "Too bad. The 4th one didn't sell. I only made 75,000. I can only afford second-row seats." After settling the ticket issue, Chunyu suddenly remembered Sister Chi told him to go to number 7 high. So he headed to his new school to report in. Scene change. Inside class 7. Students whispered, "I heard some dropout from number 2 high is coming to drag our class down." No wonder the homeroom teacher looked pissed all day. The moment the words landed, Chunyu kicked the classroom door open. He struck a cool pose and glared at the boy who insulted him. "Were you talking about me?" But his cool moment lasted only 3 seconds. The homeroom teacher clicked toward him in high heels and said coldly, "Why are you blocking the doorway? Your seat is in the back. Move." When Chunyu reached his seat, he found it carved and vandalized beyond recognition. Hearing the non-stop mocking around him, his face instantly darkened. So this was how unwelcome he was. The system chimed. "Received group malice. Spirit plus 24. Chunyu muttered. "The teacher actually lets them do this." Then he suddenly laughed. "Thanks for the blessings, everyone. I'm truly touched." The homeroom teacher shot him a disgusted look. "Anyone without a seat, stand." Now let me go over the exam rules. The exam lasts 2 days, July 7th to 8th. It's single elimination. When a round, move to the next. So manage your stamina. Then she looked at Chunyu and said coldly, "But a student the school has already given up on, like you, might fall in the first round." Hearing that, the whole class burst into loud laughter. "Tell him to kneel right now. Knock his head on the floor, call us daddy, and maybe we'll cover for him." Chunyu immediately grew irritated. In the next moment, he moved his foot and flashed behind the 2 students at incredible speed. Before they could react, Chunyu grabbed both of them and slammed them hard onto the floor. Then he hauled them up again and grinned. "My good sons, what's wrong? Not calling yet?" But right then, the homeroom teacher shouted sharply, "What do you think you're doing? Chaos in my class. If you don't want to lose your exam qualification, cut out the thug behavior." Seeing the teacher's blatant double standard, Chunyu loosened his grip and said calmly, "Okay, teacher, see you tomorrow on the exam stage." The next morning, the area outside the exam hall was already packed. Standing in line, Chunyu couldn't help looking forward to it. Finally, this day has come. Just as he was about to enter the exam hall, his phone rang. When he picked up, Chun Siwon's voice immediately came through. "Chunyu, I'm calling to ask you something. Seats with that kind of view are super expensive. Where do you get the money? Don't tell me you're living off some sugar mommy?" Chunyu panicked and whispered, "Sugar your head. Don't overthink. I'm heading into the exam now. After the call ended, Chun Siwon put on a I knew it expression. See? Guilty conscience. He definitely has a rich woman. And in the first row audience seats ahead, Sister Chi, who heard the whole thing, slightly tilted her head and thought, exposed. He really does have someone. Soon, all students entered the exam venue. Today was the citywide preliminary round. Students were matched by the system based on strength for the written test. Then the referee announced loudly, Round 1 match begins. From number 5 high, Ma Shuai. From number 7 high, Chunyu. Please step onto the stage. Chunyu didn't expect to be called so quickly and headed toward the ring. Ma Shuai, muscular and intimidating, glared at Chunyu. In the end, the only one standing on this stage will be me. Chunyu cracked his knuckles, mimicking him. Today marks the explosive start of my life. But at that moment, Ma Shuai suddenly snapped, It's you. Didn't expect we'd meet again this fast. Chunyu smiled cheerfully. Oh, it's you. The trick I taught worked well, right? Hearing that, Ma Shuai's face instantly darkened as he remembered what happened earlier. 10 minutes before the exam, inside the boys' restroom, Chunyu was peeing while planning how he'd show off his strength during the match. In the restroom, everyone's eyes widened as they stared at Chunyu, shouting, What the hell? How is this human? That's a damn natural-born giant. Hearing the commotion, Chunyu quickly zipped up and muttered, Didn't expect my strength to be revealed in a bathroom. Ma Shuai then shamelessly asked, Bro, what cultivation technique do you practice? Can you teach us? Chunyu immediately patted around his pockets and replied, Perfect timing. I have something that can make you guys grow quickly. He then took out a tiny ruler. This is the self-deceiving ruler. Take it. After saying that, Chunyu walked out casually. I'll go ahead. You guys measure slowly. Hearing that, the group instantly became furious. Whoever meets him on the stage, beat him to death. At the restroom door, the pink-haired woman frowned and scoffed. Men and their weird need to compare. So childish. But this Chunyu is interesting. I only wanted to scout his strength, yet ended up discovering a different talent. When Chunyu stepped onto the stage, the little gagas below began shouting, Bro, time to take revenge. You all know where to hit. But Ma Shuai suddenly patted Chunyu's shoulder. Let's put aside our little conflict first. Focus on the exam. Chunyu froze. Being called small, this is little conflict. The moment he said that, a loud bang echoed as Ma Shuai lunged forward, smashing his head into Chunyu's face. Watching Chunyu get headbutted across the stage, Ma Shuai roared, This is an unforgivable humiliation. He then dashed forward, aiming a vicious punch directly at Chunyu's weak spot. The little gagas below cheered wildly. Nice cheap shot, bro. That's it. The next moment, Ma Shuai's 0.3 level force chi burst out as his punch landed on Chunyu's weak point. The system chimed. Damage received. Fertility plus. Ma Shuai then grabbed Chunyu by the head and growled coldly. That's for making fun of me. But Chunyu simply rubbed his nose with a disdainful look and said, Come on, use some actual strength. Hearing that, Ma Shuai and the little gagas were stunned. They never expected that a full 0.3 level of force chi couldn't knock Chunyu down. The next moment, Chunyu's internal chi surged, and he swung a kick with all his force chi exploding outward. Ma Shuai collapsed to the ground at once, letting out a pitiful whimper. Seeing this, Chunyu complained, Am I really this strong now? But Ma Shuai frowned and snapped, Bullshit. I ran out of force chi. Why didn't you follow the rules? Chunyu blinked. What rules? Ma Shuai shouted. You're supposed to burst your force chi at the start. If people don't show their strength first, a mismatch could kill someone. You're too sly. You dragged it out until I was empty. Chunyu shook his head and chuckled. Then don't blame me. Blame yourself, little bro. He lifted his pinky and teased. Didn't expect you to be this weak. Zero stamina. Hearing that, Ma Shuai's face twisted instantly. He wanted to swallow Chunyu whole. The referee then raised Chunyu's hand and announced, Winner, Chunyu from number 7 high. Soon, the second match began. Ingli from number 2 high versus Chunyu from number 7 high. After learning the rule from Ma Shuai, Chunyu immediately burst his force chi the moment he stepped on stage. The swirling wind from his chi made Ingli scream, Put your force chi away. But Chunyu was already overly excited, increasing his output nonstop. Seeing this, Ingli had no choice but to surrender. Next was the third match, Gong for number 3 high versus Chunyu. As soon as Gong stepped on stage and saw Chunyu, he tore off his shirt and dove forward. Big Brother's giant terror is too much. I surrender. Then Gong asked shyly, Big Brother, can you let me take a look after the match? Chunyu couldn't take it anymore and slammed Gong straight onto the floor. The final match of the day, Lu Qian from number 1 high versus Chunyu. And Lu Qian was precisely the beautiful woman who discovered Chunyu's talent in the restroom earlier. When Chunyu stepped on stage, he complained, "What the hell? You think you're a celebrity?" Lu Qian's eyes lit up. "Wow, such a handsome boy." After getting a clear look at Lu Qian, Chunyu froze. "Wow, super cute girl. How am I supposed to hit her?" He immediately grabbed her hand and said, "Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before?" Lu Qian blushed. "Your pickup line is so old, but I like it. Let's go on a date after the match." The referee's face darkened. "Can you two stop flirting?" Then Lu Qian burst out with her force chi and rushed toward Chunyu. With a soft cry, Lu Qianjiao was sent hurtling toward Chunyu like an arrow under the recoil of the energy surge. The moment Lu Qian closed in on Chunyu, she swung her fair, long leg toward the side of his head in a sharp side kick, so fast and forceful that even the air whistled sharply. But Chunyu simply raised a hand and caught her kick with ease. His eyes flashed gold as he blurted, "Lace?" Instead of counterattacking, he pushed her foot away with a sudden shove. Lu Qian lost her balance midair and flipped backward uncontrollably. Chunyu quickly opened his arms with a proud grin. "Come on." The next second, the falling Lu Qian dropped straight into the embrace he had prepared. But once Chunyu caught her scent, his expression instantly changed. Lu Qian's cheeks were already flushed red, her heart racing wildly. Yet Chunyu suddenly recalled what had happened earlier when he walked out of the men's restroom. He hadn't gone far when a woman sneezed right at him. After spraying him, she hurried to wipe his clothes, apologizing, "Sorry, I'm sick today." While wiping him, Lu Qian secretly marveled. Such solid chest muscles, impressive strength. Her hand gradually slid downward until it reached Chunyu's waist. She became excited. He must look even better without a shirt. Chunyu quickly blocked her hand. "No need to wipe any lower." He frowned and warned, "This is a public place. You're standing too close." But Lu Qian fantasized, "So if it's not a public place, it's fine? Now I know why I caught a cold." She lifted her gaze seductively. "Because I have no resistance to you." Chunyu grew anxious. "Stay back. I'm about to lose it." Suddenly, he sneezed hard. "Your scent is too strong." With his saliva sprayed all over her face, Lu Qian froze, horrified. "It's all spit. Disgusting." Chunyu snapped. "I told you. You're the one who stuck to me." Furious, Lu Qian screamed, "Pervert! Someone catch this creep." At that moment, Chunyu was chased across several blocks by the campus security team. The moment Chunyu realized the girl who had framed him earlier was now completely suppressed by him, he muttered inwardly, "Changing clothes won't hide your scent from me." He flipped backward abruptly, slamming Lu Qian onto the ground before she could even process what happened. The referee immediately shouted, "Victory goes to Chunyu from number 7 high." Chunyu turned around, concern written all over his face. "Little sister, are you okay? The match is over, so we can..." Before he could finish, Lu Qian shot up angrily. "Dream on. I would never go on a date with you." Chunyu stared at her oddly. "What are you talking about? I wouldn't date someone as ugly as you. I meant the thing you falsely accused me of. Now we're even." Lu Qian froze on the spot. It was as if she heard a word no one had ever dared say to her. Her face twisted instantly as she screamed, "Ugly? You call me ugly? How dare you call me ugly?" As Chunyu stepped off the stage, a little duckling-like boy blocked him. "Chunyu, come to Ice City Institute, a true paradise for men." Chunyu's mind instantly drifted away as his eyes lit up. "Hee, tell me more." But the boy suddenly changed costumes mid-sentence and shouted excitedly, "The whole school is full of men. Pure passion. Not a single woman. The fencing major suits you especially well." Hearing that, Chunyu stopped smiling and walked away immediately. The boy muttered, "How could he not like such a perfect male paradise?" Just then, a loud cheer drew Chunyu's attention. "Chun Kaizi, go. Number 7 high will win." Chunyu looked toward the sound. On the stage, Chun Kaizi was attacking with all his strength while the homeroom teacher and classmates cheered wildly for him. Soon, The referee raised Chun Kaizi's hand and announced loudly, "Victory goes to Chun Kaizi from number 7 high." Hearing that, the homeroom teacher proudly wrote down Chun Kaizi's name and said, "Aside from Chun Kaizi, no one else in our class advanced, right?" The moment he finished, Chinyu quietly appeared behind him, clearing his throat. "There's also me." Interrupted, the teacher turned around angrily. "Can't you see I'm busy?" "What you? You were eliminated. Hurry up and leave." Chinyu frowned slightly and replied calmly, "Teacher, your values are correct, but your facial features aren't." With that, he turned to leave. The teacher immediately snapped, "Trash like you? No wonder number 2 high kicked you out." Just as Chinyu was about to step off, 2 examiners blocked his way. "We're college entrance exam evaluators. You're Chinyu, correct? According to number 7 high submission, your force chi level is only 0.3, but your performance in the preliminaries far exceeds that. Please cooperate with our investigation." The teacher sneered. He must have used illegal enhancers. One examiner frowned. "Did you personally witness him using banned items? If not, that's slander." The teacher, who was about to keep running his mouth, instantly shut up. The female examiner then took out a force chi measuring device. "We need to retest your force chi level." When the female examiner approached, Chinyu immediately lifted his shirt and said, "Go ahead. Don't be shy. Do whatever you need." Once the device finished scanning, his force chi level lit up as 0.7. The female examiner instantly turned serious and questioned the homeroom teacher. "The midterm report says 0.3. Why is it 0.7 now?" The teacher, looking embarrassed, muttered, "He didn't come to school, so I just filled something in." The examiner snapped, "How can you just fill a student's data? We'll report this to the authorities. You will be penalized." Hearing that, the teacher collapsed to his knees, crying, "My rank, my bonus all gone." The examiner then warmly put an arm around Chun Yu's shoulder. "Congratulations on advancing. With a combat performance at 0.7, sweeping the beginner bracket should be easy." At those words, Chun Kaizi and the teacher were both stunned. What? He advanced? And a full sweep? Chun Kaizi, furious and disbelieving, leapt at Chun Yu. He must have cheated. But before he reached Chun Yu, the examiner flashed forward and slapped him aside with a single strike. The examiner's expression darkened. "Are you questioning my professional integrity or doubting the fairness of this exam?" Terrified, Chun Kaizi trembled. And no, absolutely not. But in his heart, he cursed. "Chun Yu, just wait." Soon after, all students who passed the preliminaries gathered at the emergency passage. A bald man stepped forward and announced, "Welcome. I am the chief examiner of this year's college entrance trials. The arena advancement test is about to begin. I will now repeat the rules." The chief examiner's sharp eyes swept across the crowd as he gave a sinister grin. "The ring battle is single elimination. Lose once and you're out of the official tournament. You'd better hold the mindset of killing your opponent or hurry up and write your will." Then the bald examiner's smile twisted into something cruel. "Kids, welcome to the real college entrance exam." He slowly pushed open the metal gate and shouted, "The true trial begins now. Break through under the eyes of thousands." Once the gate opened, the host announced, "Next, let's welcome our advancing candidates. The second round of the ring battle is about to begin." The arena instantly erupted with thunderous cheers, tens of thousands screaming at the top of their lungs. Nervous at first, Chun Siwon saw Chun Yu's silhouette and suddenly teared up. It's Chun Yu. He advanced. He really advanced. Meanwhile, in the VIP section, representatives from various admissions offices roared, "This year, don't you dare steal even one student from me." At that moment, the host suddenly announced, "All candidates, head to the waiting zone. Round 1 is about to begin." All advancing candidates sprinted to their school's waiting area. They closed their eyes, resting and preparing for the upcoming battle. Chun Yu also leaned back on a chair, humming happily to himself. But right then, the principal of number 7 school arrived with a group of muscular men. "So this is the famous Chun Yu? Hold him down for me." In an instant, Chun Yu was surrounded by the muscle men, and he snapped, "What are you doing? Even if you're the principal, you can't just do whatever you want." Seeing the principal remain silent, Chun Yu immediately threatened, "I'm going to report you." But the principal simply smiled and said, "Go ahead, see who cares. Start." Hearing this, Chun Yu frowned. "They dare mess with me, even inside the exam venue? I can't fall here. The next moment, as the technicians kneaded his whole body with practice skill, Chunyu couldn't help letting out a numbing sigh of pleasure. I don't even want to get up anymore. Seeing how much Chunyu enjoyed it, the principal sighed. I'm doing something good for students, and it's not illegal. What are you going to report me for? You students are just too shy. It's just a massage. Before this, they were all female technicians, but someone reported them. Hearing that, an image of paradise flashed through Chunyu's mind. His cheeks instantly flushed as he exclaimed in shock, "What? That's such a pity." Hearing this, the principal immediately grabbed Chunyu's hand excitedly and said with heartfelt emotion, "Finally, someone understands me. Their curvy bodies are their greatest weapon. Like magic, pushing me to break through myself over and over, unleashing endless power." As he said this, the principal glanced at the homeroom teacher. Looks like we also need to improve teacher standards. Being too flat affects students' passion for class. The principal then turned toward the group of students who advanced to the next round and said, "Next, let me share with you some of the experience I've gained from many years of the advancement tournament." At this point, the principal's expression turned serious. For the first elimination match, the pairing rule prioritizes matching students from the same school. Usually they won't hit too hard, so everyone can relax a little. As soon as he finished speaking, a small mob grunt on the stage was punched flying and smashed straight into the wall. Seeing this, Chinyu frowned and asked quietly, "Principal, this doesn't count as not too hard." The principal immediately cleared his throat awkwardly. Well, a man's best scar is the one he gets after a severe injury. At that moment, the host suddenly shouted, "Next, let's welcome the contestants of the second round. They are Wang AI from Class 3 versus Li Qing from Class 3. Zhao from Class 9 versus Bai Tai from Class 9. Gong Lao from Class 1 versus Xing Pe from Class 6. Xin Yu from Class 7 versus Chun Kaizi from Class 7. After reading the match list, the host shouted again, "The matches begin. Let's take a look at the battlefield." The two contestants on Ring 1 are a couple at school, but even so, they show no mercy in battle. As for the two from Class 9, they're both well-known simps at school. Who will become the strongest simp? The two from Class 1 are love rivals. Whoever wins will take the beauty home. Right then, the host suddenly gasped. What's going on with the two from Class 7? Why are they standing still? The match has already begun. Why aren't they moving? The annual preliminary college martial exam finally began. After the contestants stepped in, the host shouted, "The most anticipated match of this round is the battle on Ring 1. On Ring 1, a couple was tangled in a messy fight. But Wang AI suddenly let go and said, "Forget it. I can't do something like that to you just to win." Li Qing looked upset. "My level is lower than yours. Of course I'll lose." But Wang AI turned away firmly. "Stop talking. I just can't bring myself to hit you." The moment she finished, Li Qing suddenly started hurting herself, screaming, "Then I'll do it myself." Wang AI panicked and quickly supported her, while Li Qing said gloomily, "I couldn't control my forced chi. Today might be our last goodbye." Wang AI instantly rushed off the platform and grabbed a medic. "Doctor, save her quickly." But the medic pointed at the ring. "The match isn't over yet. Are you crazy? Look behind you." The referee raised Li Qing's hand. Contestant Wang AI left the ring. "This counts as a forfeit. Winner, Li Qing." Wang AI exploded. "You were acting?" Li Qing smirked. "How else could I beat someone stronger than me?" On Ring 2, the contestants also finished their match after a fierce fight. Ring 3 soon wrapped up as well, and the second wave of matches approached its end. When the remaining rings finished, the host suddenly exclaimed, "In this intense competition, why have the contestants on Ring 4 not moved at all?" The reason was simple. The principal had warned them earlier. Tactics are crucial. They might save your life. So listen carefully to what I say next. Once you're up there, before the audience notices your ring, the one with the lower level must immediately admit defeat. Chun Kaizi frowned. "Then how do we advance?" The principal snapped, "Are you stupid? Advance to what? We've never passed a single round in all my years as principal." Seeing no action on Ring 4, he shouted anxiously, "What are you doing?" Use the tactic. But neither contestant wanted to surrender. In the audience, little Gaga grew impatient, yelling for the 7th high students to get off the ring. To avoid further embarrassment, the principal roared, "If you won't surrender, then fight. Fight hard. Hearing that, Chen Kaisi recalled being beaten brutally by the examiner earlier. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "Chun Yu, you'll regret not surrendering earlier. Let's settle all our grudges at once." Chun Yu, unfazed, picked his nose and replied, "That line, you really try hard to act cool." As soon as he finished speaking, a cruel smile appeared on Chen Kaisi's face. He stirred the force chi within his dantian, letting it surge through his body as he unleashed the martial technique Chi Surge. Yongquan Point. A faint red aura instantly ignited around him. The host gasped, "That's a martial technique. Normally, only universities teach these." A blond man beside him added, "He's probably from a martial family. That's the only way he'd learn techniques this early." The next moment, Chen Kaisi shot forward like a comet, unleashing the Chun family secret move inside curve kick with lightning speed toward Chenyu. Seeing Chenyu take it head-on, Chen Kaisi felt secretly pleased. This is the power of a martial lineage. You ordinary people aren't even on the same level. Still midair, he swept another kick down, the air tearing apart with a sharp crack as a fierce whip kick slashed toward the side of Chenyu's head. The kick landed solidly, exploding with a thunderous boom. The shockwave blasted dust into the air in every direction. Chenyu's mother felt her heart clench. Siwen had her chi-si shattered by a weapon. Are both my children destined for tragedy? When the dust cleared, Chenyu was standing there, one hand raised, blocking that lethal strike. His arm looked like solid steel, completely unmoved. The host cried out in disbelief. Chenyu blocked it. He blocked it without using force chi. What kind of monstrous strength is this? Seeing such talent, the university admission officers immediately expressed their desire to recruit him. Meanwhile, Sister Chi in the front row raised an eyebrow, thinking, "So this is the real you?" Chen Siwen stared in disbelief. Is that really my little brother?" But the most terrified person was Chen Kaisi himself. "Impossible. This leg of mine can shatter steel rods." He shouted. Chenyu grabbed his leg with a mischievous grin. "Come on, you don't really think you're the only one who knows martial techniques, right?" Hearing that, Chen Kaisi's expression changed instantly. Before he could react, Chenyu swung him into the air and remarked, "It's rude not to return a favor." Chenyu's legs then kicked out with terrifying speed, and the sound of cracking ribs echoed as Chen Kaisi's eyes bulged. The next second, he shot through the air like a cannonball, flying toward the spectators' seats nearly 100 meters away. Silence fell over the entire venue. Everyone simply stared at the figure soaring across the arena. Then, once reality caught up, the crowd erupted into thunderous cheers. Chun Siwen and the others burst into tears of relief. Thank goodness, little Yu is safe, and he even won. The blonde admissions officer chuckled softly. It's been a while since we've met a candidate this interesting. As he was falling, Chen Kaisi trembled inwardly. Impossible, a useless dropout expelled before the exam shouldn't have this kind of power. Enduring the pain, Chen Kaisi shouted, "You must have taken illegal enhancers." Chenyu frowned and picked his nose. Yeah, whatever you say. I'm too lazy to explain." He then walked off the stage. The crowd of 10,000 erupted into overwhelming noise. Applause, cheers, screams, all blending together. Chen Siwen and their mother burst into tears of relief. Sister Chi murmured, "Guess I can't call him a little puppy anymore. He's clearly a little wolf now." Just then, the homeroom teacher suddenly grabbed Chenyu's hand. She declared righteously, "I heard everything. You admitted taking boosters. Come with me to the principal. Cancel your exam results voluntarily. I can't let a failing student like you ruin the future of a good student." Being dragged along, Chenyu snapped, "You really took that joke seriously? You're not well, are you?" But the teacher persisted, pulling him to the principal. "Principal, our school cannot allow a student like Chenyu, someone who wins by doping, to stay. It would ruin our reputation." The principal frowned in irritation. "Is that so?" Chenyu's strength was obvious to the entire audience. "Only you saw doping? Are the thousands watching all blind?" Then he wrapped an arm around Chenyu. "I support you. This year's top scorer. Your future holds our school's honor." At that moment, the mayor approached with a middle-aged man. "Good fight, young man. You're Chenyu, correct?" Hearing this, the teacher quickly accused principal. "How can you cover for a student who took illegal enhancers?" Chenyu admitted it on stage. The principal exploded. Cover up what? He was joking, for heaven's sake. The middle-aged man suddenly spoke. Real or not? One punch from him will tell us. Chinyu raised an eyebrow and chuckled. Looking for trouble? The man smiled faintly. You? Not qualified. Hearing that, Chinyu immediately raised his hand to gather strength, shouting angrily. I'm not qualified? I can knock you away without even using force chi. He then launched a fierce punch, a sharp gust blasting forward as his fist slammed into the man's abdomen. Yet the expected blow-away effect didn't happen. The middle-aged man only staggered back a few steps before stabilizing himself. The homeroom teacher instantly got smug. See? He definitely took illegal enhancers. The effects wore off, and now he's weak. But the mayor suddenly interrupted. It's the opposite. Forget level 1 or level 2 martial artists. Even a level 3 shouldn't be able to push him back. But Chinyu did. The middle-aged man then calmly analyzed. Judging from his punch in the ring, I estimated his physical strength to be around level 1.3. After taking his punch myself, I believe level 1.4 is more accurate. Current enhancers can only offer temporary boosts. None can directly break a person past level 1. Hearing this professional assessment, the principal immediately grew excited. So Chen, you didn't cheat. I knew he had real ability. Homeroom teacher, come here. Then he scolded her sternly. You've shown prejudice toward Chunyu many times and even framed him just now. As a teacher, this is unacceptable. I'm docking half a month's salary. The teacher exploded. Dock my salary? No. Please, Buyawa. With official confirmation behind him, Chinyu grew even prouder. My strength is mayor certified. Let's see who dares doubt me again. At that moment, several burly men suddenly rushed toward him. Before Chinyu could react, they all shouted at once. Chinyu, Tsinghua needs you. Peking University welcomes you. Come to Canaan University. Lots of cute girls. All of them were recruiters. Chinyu waved them off impatiently. Leave your business cards. Everyone except Tsinghua and Peking University can go first. Then he added bluntly, I'm a practical guy. I'll go with whoever offers the best deal. Go talk to your superiors and come back later. Okay? Chinyu wasn't nervous at all. His real goal was Peking University, but competition only increased his value. Soon, the host announced again. The next round is about to begin. The dark horse from last match, Chinyu, will now face Wang Ao from number 4 high school. What kind of performance will these two bring? Let's wait and see. In the second round of the advancement match, Wang Ao stepped onto the stage and sneered. Chinyu, your performance earlier was impressive. I respect your strength, but this match will end quickly. Hearing that, Chinyu paused and thought, number 4 high is one of the top schools in Qing City. Never short of monsters, better stay alert. Don't flip the boat in a shallow ditch. The moment the match started, Wang Ao roared and unleashed all the force chi in his body. Before Chun, you could react. Wang Ao launched the martial technique Black Tiger pierces the heart straight at him. But the next second, Wang Ao suddenly dropped to his knees in front of Chunyu and declared surrender. Chunyu frowned. How about this? I'll even give you one hand. Let's fight properly. Wang Ao's aura changed instantly. Let me tell you, even if you give me 2 hands and 2 legs, it still won't stop me from surrendering. I said what I said. Seeing his determination, Chinyu turned and walked off the stage. This might be your first lesson. Nothing is absolute. No matter how strong you are, there are still things you can't do. Meanwhile, inside a penthouse room at the top of the exam stadium, a bespectacled student stood by the window, watching Chunyu on the platform. A real tough guy showed up. He'll definitely reach the main tournament. Whoever meets him, good luck. Another student brushed imaginary dust off himself and scoffed. Don't belittle us. We're seed players. A girl shrugged. Seed players? Who cares? The main tournament depends on combat strength, not force chi level. Getting beaten and crying would be even more embarrassing. The bespectacled boy chuckled. Heard Chinyu's force chi is only 0.7. Even if he's physically strong, he shouldn't be our match. The lowest among us is level 1. But Bahuang Yao stared at Chinyu's back in surprise. This Chinyu, why does his silhouette look familiar? Soon, the competition entered the 3rd round. Chinyu's next opponent was an old acquaintance, Wang Yu from number 2 high. The number 2 high principal, upon seeing the matchup, instantly instructed, Chinyu's punches are heavy and his physique is excellent. Move around, look for weak spots, strike the vitals. His expression turns solemn. If you really can't win, surrender. As the assistant principal of number 2 High, and Xinyu's former class monitor, Wang Yu immediately declared, "I'll do my best." Watching Chun Yu's figure, the number 2 High principal felt a swirl of emotions. A failing student I expelled casually. Turns out he's someone who can enter the main tournament? What the hell? When Chun Yu saw Wang Yu, he raised an eyebrow with a smirk. Well, if it isn't our esteemed class monitor? A month ago, she stood high above everyone, except the homeroom teacher, and looked down on others. Chun Yu, ranking dead last, didn't even qualify to be looked down upon. When Chun Yu was expelled, this same monitor sneered from above, wasting your family's money. Expelled before finishing school. Huh? Better work hard to pay your family back. And she even added, make sure you don't become a parasite of society. Her arrogance was unmistakable then. But in just a month, everything had flipped. Hearing Chun Yu's tone now, Wang Yu gritted her teeth. Quit being sarcastic. What are you trying to say? Chun Yu suddenly pulled out a stack of business cards and smiled. Nothing much. It's rare to meet you again in the advancement rounds. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Here's my card. With a subtle flick, the cards spilled all over the floor. As he bent to pick them up, he muttered, I'm just too careless. These university admissions, people keep stuffing cards at me. So annoying. Then he began showing off. This one's from Imperial Capital University. This one's Fudan University. This one's Hong Kong University. Which should I choose? Honestly, they're all kind of mid. Wang Yu clench her fists, furious. Chun Yu, don't you dare act smug in front of me. Seeing she was about to explode, Chun Yu quickly put on a sheepish grin. Just kidding. Then he waved enthusiastically toward the edge of the platform. Isn't that principal number 2 High? Long time no see. Before the match began, Chun Yu hurried to the edge of the platform and greeted the number 2 High principal. Principal, how have you been? Want a cigarette? The principal replied without emotion, no need. Chun Yu immediately mocked. Come on, why is your face so dark? Don't tell me you're upset because I made it to the main tournament. The principal frowned. I expelled you because of school regulations. You don't need to resent me. Chun Yu quickly pulled something from his pocket and handed it over. Right. I'm ashamed I failed the school's guidance. Please accept my apology gift. The principal sniffed the plastic-looking item. Why does it smell bad? Chun Yu grinned. Because it's my insole. The principal instantly flung the insole away. His face turned dark, eyes icy. What are you trying to do? Looking for death? Chun Yu didn't back down. He even leaned closer. Sure, if you can make it happen. The principal shook with rage. Wang Yu, you must use your full strength and win. Don't disappoint me. Yes, Wang Yu shouted. She exploded with blazing force chi, then shot forward like a crescent moon, circling to Chun Yu's flank. Chun Yu stood still, using no force chi at all, allowing her long leg to smack his cheek. Feeling her kick land, Wang Yu raised an eyebrow and scoffed in her mind. So when I get serious, this is all you are? The number 2 principal beamed. Excellent. As expected of my top student. Her talent and strength won't disappoint. The moment Chun Yu took damage, the system granted him plus 300 HP. He even slapped his own cheek and taunted, that's it? Hit me again. Wang Yu froze completely, thunderstruck, a suffocating despair. Her full power strike couldn't even break his defense. The principal too felt a chill. So it's still impossible? A mere level 0.8 student like Wang Yu really is nothing but an ant before Chun Yu? Seeing Wang Yu stunned, Chun Yu gave a vicious grin. Class monitor, it's my turn now. Before his voice even faded, Chun Yu flashed forward and swept her into the air with one fierce kick. Wang Yu snapped back to her senses and tried to struggle. But Chun Yu didn't give her the chance. He grabbed her head and slammed it toward the hard marble floor. Wang Yu immediately lost consciousness, and the referee announced Chun Yu's victory. The number 2 High principal was completely dumbfounded. A bottom-ranked student, growing to this level in such a short time? Has the world gone mad? Chun Yu crouched beside Wang Yu and said calmly, I won. Looks like I won't have to start working early to support my family. Then he smirked with disdain. You actually lost to me, this so-called parasite of society, class monitor. Even a host was stunned. I've never seen someone defeat an opponent this easily. This student from number 7 High is terrifying. Good thing I took my college exam years ago. Sister Chi was secretly shocked as well. This kid Yu, always quiet, and yet this strong? Chen Siwen's jaw dropped. Is this really my loser little brother? This is insane. Wang Yu, humiliated, tried to speak, but her consciousness blurred rapidly. Looking at Chen Yu's harmless-looking face, she thought, shaken, I never expected he was hiding so much strength. I really shouldn't have looked down on him. Chen Yu sighed lightly. Take this as a lesson. Don't be so arrogant next time. The host exclaimed, such a clean and decisive battle. Looks like another dark horse will appear in this year's college exam. In the VIP seats, the bureau chief beside the mayor said, now that is a real genius. The mayor frowned and asked, didn't your daughter also enter this year's exam? She's a seed player, right? She might even fight Chen Yu. Aren't you worried? The bureau chief remained expressionless. She chose to become a martial artist. Sooner or later, she dies. What's there to worry about? The mayor coughed awkwardly. You're still the same, I see. Meanwhile, Wang Yu could no longer stand. She barely pushed herself up before collapsing again. Chen Yu lifted her into his arms and said, when I was expelled, you mocked the weak me. That behavior was unacceptable. If you retake the exam next year, don't stay at number 2 high. Your principal is unworthy of being an educator. The number 2 principal's face twisted. Little brat, you're courting death. But Chen Yu suddenly threw Wang Yu off the platform, right to the principal's feet. Seeing her unconscious, the principal's expression darkened instantly. Chen Yu looked down at him and ordered, pick her up. You teach students to bully the weak. With such values, how are they supposed to protect humanity's future? Enraged, the principal released a faint wave of force chi. You seek death. Chen Yu frowned with disdain. Oh, planning to hit a student? You're so righteous, principal. Then he loudly yelled, ignoring the principal's fury. The principal wants to hit me. I'm so scared. The number 2 principal was about to explode, but had no choice except to pick Wang Yu up. Chen Yu waved proudly. Bye-bye. Make sure to become a better person. Principal, teach the next generation properly. Grinding his teeth, the principal's eyes reddened with rage, but he did not dare act. Just you wait. When the spotlight fades, I'll crush you to dust. At this moment, the number 7 high principal walked up and placed a hand on Chen Yu's shoulder. The next second, he abruptly hugged him tight. My lucky star, my promotion and raise depend entirely on you. The host then announced loudly. After that brilliant match between Chen Yu and Wang Yu, let the exciting tournament continue. Chen Yu glanced at the winners on stage. Not bad. Looks like winners today get admitted to university, right? The number 7 principal shook his head. Idiot, you're too naive. Today is only the preliminary ring match. Winners still need scoring from the judges before entering the brutal main tournament. Chen Yu frowned. There's even such a step? Meanwhile, the host proclaimed, Round 1 is over. Now, let the professional judging panel score the contestants. The chief examiner of this year's exam will announce the results. As soon as he said this, the chief examiner flipped open his notebook and announced, for those selected, congratulations. For those who weren't, it doesn't mean you failed. Being able to defeat countless competitors and stand here already makes every one of you a winner. Now, let's begin the scoring. Candidate number 02121, Song Yu from First High School, dropping the highest score of 7 and the lowest score of 3. Final score, 6.36. Failed to advance to the official round. The moment the words landed, Song Yu erupted with a roar of unwilling fury. Then he walked toward the exit full of regret. The 7th high principal said gravely, Chen Yu, you must not get eliminated. The chief examiner continued announcing results. One candidate after another stood before the judges, some happy, some devastated, with many breaking down in tears. After fighting all day from preliminaries to the arena, many still ended with failure. Before long, the spotlight finally landed on Chen Yu. The 7th high principal grew even more anxious. It's your turn, Chen Yu. The future of our school depends on you. In the audience, though Chen Suan knew Chen Yu performed brilliantly, she still whispered nervously, Mom. It's our Xiao Yu's turn. The next second, a score of 9.4 lit up on the big screen. Chen Yu instantly broke into a wide grin. Awesome. I made it. The arena exploded. Cheers thundered, drums roared, and waves of admiration burst out. Amazing. What a fight. So talented. Hearing it, Chinyu panicked on the spot. Oh damn, stop praising me. Stop. Listening to non-stop system notifications deducting his stats, Chinyu immediately wanted to slip away. But in the next instant, a familiar voice made him freeze. Chun Siwon shouted excitedly, "You brat. That was incredible." Chinyu raised his hand proudly and waved. "Sis, Mom." Then his expression suddenly changed. "Crap, why is the boss lady here?" He spotted Sister Chi giving him an international friendly gesture. Chinyu panicked instantly. "I'm done. My cover's blown." Just then, the chief examiner announced the promotion list is finalized. Today's arena matches officially end here. He handed Chinyu a green wristband. "This is your official match wristband. Your ID is encoded on it. You'll need this for lodging and collecting your official uniform. Don't lose it." After distributing all wristbands, the chief examiner continued, "Tonight, everyone must stay here. No one may leave the stadium for any reason. We'll now return your phones so you can call your guardians. Meals and lodging arrangements will be made with them. The wristbands you're wearing will serve as your identity pass during the official matches and grant access to all examination services. Please keep them safe." The chief examiner looked around the room and asked again, "Any questions?" Before he finished, Chinyu spoke up seriously, "I have a very important question." Sensing the sudden pressure from Chinyu, the chief examiner quickly asked, "Yes, student? What is it?" Chinyu leaned in close and whispered, "Who reimburses my family's travel expenses?" The examiner snapped, "Me. Just go." Chinyu and the 7th High principal arrived at the dorm area for the night. Seeing the principal so shocked, Chinyu muttered, "Why are you surprised? Aren't principals supposed to deal with this every year?" The principal replied weakly, "None of my students have ever reached the official rounds. How would I know?" At that moment, hotel security came out and dragged the principal away. Chinyu quickly took out his phone to call his sister. Entering the luxurious room, Chinyu immediately dove onto the giant bed. He sighed, "Studying really can change fate. Not a joke. I've got to make full use of this rebirth curse buff and rewrite my damn life." Just then, a knock came from the door. Chinyu opened it with confusion. "Who is it?" The moment he saw what was in front of him, he froze. Holy, the exam venue even provides special services now? The girl straightened her posture and introduced herself. "My name is Mary. My number is 13. Nice to meet you." Chinyu's gaze locked instantly. "That's a big number. So, beauty, what brings you here today?" Mary leaned in suddenly. "Nothing much, just saying hello in advance. If we meet tomorrow, handsome, please go easy on me." Chinyu instantly lost interest. "No deal. It's about my future. If we meet, I'll beat you senseless." Mary huffed and turned to leave. Chinyu tried to stop her. "Miss Ma, let me see your number again. I didn't quite catch it." Just as he shut the door, still thinking about how big her number was, someone knocked again. Chinyu opened the door grumbling, "Stop it. Even if your number's bigger, I'm not going easy on." But the moment the door opened, Chun Siwon threw herself onto him. "Xiaoyu, you were amazing." Inside the room, her expression turned serious. "I have a question. Answer honestly." Then she fired away like a machine gun. "Did you get yourself a rich sugar mommy? Who is she? And your force chi level was 0.7. How did it rise so fast? And why are you suddenly from 7th High? Weren't you in 2nd High? What's going on between you and the 2nd High principal?" Hearing that, Chinyu felt a headache coming on. "Sis, don't do that. Throwing so many questions at me. I just finished the exam. My brain is fried." He ignored Chun Siwon entirely and pulled his mother toward the cafeteria. Once they arrived, his mom took out the food she had prepared. "The next round is even more important. You need to eat well." Just as Chunyu was about to start eating, Mary suddenly appeared at the table. Chunyu burst out, "Hey boobs, 13, why are you here? This is the meal my mom made." Mary grinned. "Come on, it's just one more pair of chopsticks." Then Mary introduced herself. "Hi, I'm also taking this year's exam. I advanced to tomorrow's official match too." Chinyu muttered, thick-skinned, "Your family didn't cook for you?" Mary shrugged helplessly. "Nope, my family didn't come. I'm delicate and terrible at cooking. Am I supposed to starve?" Chinyu frowned. "So delicate? Sounds like you're well off. Should I pity you?" Mary lowered her voice. "Since I'm eating your food, here's some intel. See that girl over there? She's Bahuang Yao, the daughter of the Bahuang family." Hearing that, Chun Yu's expression darkened instantly. Everyone already knows who she is. How was that even intel? Mary kept stuffing food in her mouth while explaining, she's my classmate. Cold, distant type. Top student and #1 high. And rumor says things aren't great with her family. Probably no one cooked for her, so she's just sitting there. Then Mary raised a brow. And here's the real kicker. She's single. Never dated, as far as I know. Mary suddenly leaned in with a mocking tone. You kid look quite decent. If you're interested in her. Hearing this, Chun Suin and Chen's mother instantly perked up, waiting for his answer. Chen Yu simply replied, not interested. Chen Siwen finally exhaled. The daughter of the Bahuang family probably isn't even of age yet. If you dare go after her, that's kidnapping a minor. Their conversation about Bahuang, Yao quickly attracted attention, and the nearby students started buzzing. Hey, look, isn't that Bahuang Yao? She actually came to the cafeteria? The daughter of the Bahuang family eating with commoners? No way. Why is she sitting there without eating? Her family didn't come? Her dad's a bureau chief, busy big shot. No way he's cooking here. Maybe she's waiting for a 5-star hotel delivery. Haha. Seeing Bahuang Yao become the focus of attention, Shin Yu panicked. See? It's all your fault. Now everyone's staring at her. She must feel awful. Mary shot back. Blame yourself. You're the one trying to chase her. Soon, after everyone finished eating, the students began leaving the cafeteria to prepare for tomorrow's main exam. Yet Bahuang Yao still sat at the table, staring at the entrance without blinking. After finishing his meal, Chen Yu suddenly said he was afraid of getting hungry at midnight, so he began packing the leftovers. When he finished, he added, I'm heading to the practice room later. You guys go first. Mary smirked, cramming last minute. Useless. Just don't take the exam. Repeat for 2 years, and I lose a competitor. The group then left the cafeteria and went their separate ways. The room was empty now, except for Bahuang Yao sitting there all alone. She waited, tears quietly falling. He'll come. Father will definitely come. At that moment, Chen Yu walked over with a box meal. Still waiting? If he were coming, he'd be here already. What kid starve herself like this? He set the food down. Eat. If the daughter of the Bahuang family loses tomorrow because she's hungry, she'll be a laughingstock. Seeing Chen Yu suddenly appear, Bahuang Yao froze. Excuse me, who are? He cut her off, annoyed. You're starving and still talking? Then he sat down. Whatever you want to ask, say it after you eat. She looked at his back, her heart trembling. This silhouette looks familiar. Hungry from waiting all night, she didn't refuse, and she also wanted to test him. After eating, she spoke softly. I was attacked in the Qingcheng realm and fainted. A stranger saved me, but I never learned who he was. I remember his back and his voice. And today, when I saw you fighting, your silhouette and your voice sound very similar. Chen Yu instantly panicked and sighed. No, but I did hear you fainted that day. I just happened to be exploring the Qingcheng spatial realm then. Hearing this, Bahuang Yao smiled gently. Really? Guess I overthought it. But thank you. The food tonight was delicious. Seeing this, Chen Yu couldn't help trembling inside. The icy, cold Bahuang family princess actually smiles this cutely? He quickly steadied himself and asked, why were you sitting here all night? Didn't your dad say he'd cook for you? He'd dish you again? Bahuang Yao lowered her gaze. It's hard to explain. I'm just unwilling to accept it. She sighed. Maybe father only cooks for my older brother. Chen Yu instantly reacted. Oh, I know Bahuang Yi, the top student from Imperial Capital University. The rich, handsome one. Then he changed expression. Boys and girls are the same. Your dad is a security bureau director. And still this old-fashioned? If he's corrupt, cheating, or keeping mistresses, tell me. I'll report him for you. Bahuang Yao shook her head dim. No need. In his eyes, I may never have been worthy of being his daughter. Chen Yu's face twisted as he roared inwardly. A level. One martial artist saying this? Peak humble brag. I'm dying under this curse, and I'm only level 0.7. After eating, Bahuang Yao stood up, no longer staying. Before leaving, she said softly, thank you for saving me, and for the dinner. Nice meeting you, Chen Yu. Chen Yu hurriedly reminded her, don't mention it. Next time buy some emergency rations. Don't starve yourself, Miss Rich Girl. Night passed quickly. The main exam began early the next morning. The first match of the day was Chun Yu from 7th High versus Mary from 1st High. Stepping onto the stage, Chun Yu cracked his knuckles. First round, and I get Mary, the big-chested one? Time to make a flashy opening. The host announced, the fate-deciding main exam begins now. Today's match features 20 seeded candidates plus 12 qualifiers from yesterday. 32 contestants total. These 32 will be split into odd and even groups for the first round. Anyone who wins 5 matches in a row becomes this year's champion. The Zhuang Yuan. Rules explained. Let's begin the first duel. Sitting in the VIP judges section, the mayor smiled faintly. I wonder which kid will take the top spot this year. Truly exciting. After Chun Yu and Mary stepped onto the stage, the host immediately announced number 21, Chun Yu from number 7 high school, and number 13, Mary from number 1 high school. Let's see how these 2 technical track candidates perform. Seeing Mary, Chun Yu raised an eyebrow. Just because your number is bigger doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Exams are like battlefields. Mary straightened up and said with a teasing smile, they say a one-day couple shares 100 days of affection. I ate at your house, so I'll barely count as your future daughter-in-law. But even real couples settle scores. I won't hold back. She suddenly leaned in close. Ugh, I still can't resist your charm. Be honest. Why are you more attractive today after staying up all night? I saw everything this morning. Shouldn't you immediately look smug? You mean that? Last night, just as he was about to sleep, groans kept coming from the room next door. Shouldn't you was stunned. What the hell? Who's in room 22? Doing handiwork in the middle of the night? He banged on the wall angrily. Which school's top student is that? Stop your sewing project already. Some people need sleep. We have exams tomorrow. Show some decency. As soon as he finished yelling, the other side instantly went quiet. Shinyu covered his face. At least they have some shame. Good, they quieted down. But then the sounds came back even louder, with the rhythm speeding up, completely ignoring Chun Yu's existence. Shinyu finally snapped, doing your little handicraft and getting cockier by the minute. Are you showing off to me? Challenge accepted. He began a long battle of his own, shouting in explosive bursts. Hours passed, and dawn arrived. Shinyu finally stopped his handiwork. Handiwork completed 86 times. Force Chi plus 32, Constitution plus 17, Lifespan plus 10. Shinyu changed clothes and stepped out energetically. Nice. One night of traditional self-cultivation. My spirit and body are both pumped. When he exited, a dark-eyed examinee immediately pointed at him. Examiner, I report malicious interference outside the exam venue. Shinyu froze. Huh? What's going on? The examinee pulled out his phone, showing a 7-hour recording. Stop pretending. I'm the candidate in room 22. You made noise the whole night. Were you sabotaging me on purpose? It's all recorded. You never stopped once. As soon as he said that, the entire place fell silent. Students and examiners looked at Chunyu with complicated expressions. Chunyu only smirked proudly. So it was you, the loser I defeated. You were the one who provoked me first. A man's dignity is on the line. How could I back down? Ignoring the furious crowd, he turned away. Didn't expect my inherited handiwork skills to spark jealousy and interrogation. Such is life, I guess. Instantly, all the men present roared. Heavens are blind. How can a handsome guy like me lose only because of short duration? Hidden among the crowd, Mary muttered in shock. Damn it. How could someone be this all-round strength, beauty, brains, and freakishly robust on top of that? Mary slipped close to Chunyu and whispered, Chun Yu Gidge. When the exam ends, let's go on a date. Chunyu chuckled. Big chest girl, we're in a match. Behave. But in the next second, Mary's force chi exploded as she swept a punch straight at Chunyu's face. Chunyu froze as his nose was hit. A sneak attack? Seriously? Mary then put on a green cap with a serious expression. Fine, I admit you do make my heart flutter a little. But don't think being handsome means I won't hit you. No matter how strong you look, I'll only be interested after the exam. Chunyu raised an eyebrow, rubbed his nose, and smirked. Bring it on, big chest girl. As soon as he finished, Mary dashed forward in several swift steps, charging straight at him. Mary launched a storm-like barrage of attacks, while Chunyu dodged, relying on his tough physique. But Mary was extremely agile, and Chunyu instantly fell into a position where he could only take hits with no chance to counterattack. Just as Chunyu suddenly struck back, Mary grabbed his shoulder and leapt upward. Taking advantage of his momentary daze, Mary spread her legs and swiftly locked them around Chunyu's waist. She flashed a triumphant grin yanked his collar, and said, "Got you." The students in the audience gasped. Mary from number 1 high is so flexible, truly the second young lady of the Ma family. But what is she trying to do by wrapping around Chinyu from number 7 high? Even the principal of number 1 high frowned in confusion. What is Mary scheming this time? He then spoke sternly. "I hope Mary eliminates that boy from number 7 high quickly. Otherwise, this year's exam will become troublesome for our students." Meanwhile, Chunyu's mother in the stands exclaimed, "This Mary kid is great. Looks like she's very fertile." Still clinging tightly to Chunyu, Mary raised a brow and said, "Hiding a weapon down there, huh? A stiff little knife? Don't take it out. It's a prohibited item." Chunyu's face flushed instantly. "We're in public. Let go of me." But Mary suddenly lifted her fist, bursting with emerald force chi, and smirked. "You're shy? Let me take a look." The next second, her punches came at him like a flurry of cat claws, leaving Chunyu no time to react. Being beaten down, Chunyu cursed inwardly. Damn it, she's so hard to deal with. Seeing how durable he was, Mary threw punches even faster, while Chunyu tanked them as system prompts kept notifying him of rising HP. The host exclaimed, "Beautiful!" Mary has launched a continuous high-density assault on Chunyu. Chunyu is standing still with no ability to dodge. Can he break through? Meanwhile, Chunyu, who was getting pummeled, was secretly delighted. At this rate, I'll never break free. Watching the surging waves of attacks, he prayed inwardly, "Please keep attacking me like this." After landing over 100 punches, Mary's stamina visibly dropped, and even the green hat on her head fell off. Staring at Chunyu, completely unscathed, Mary fell silent. She then got off of him, frowned, and said, "You tanked over 100 punches without a scratch. You're way too strong." Chunyu, face flushed, urged loudly, "That's all the strength you've got? Is this a massage? I'll give you another chance. Pin me down like before." As soon as he finished speaking, Chunyu's expression changed sharply. A streak of green light swept toward him, and he narrowly dodged it. Seeing this, Chunyu's expression darkened. What was that just now? The green light continued attacking him, forcing Chunyu back into a situation where he could only dodge passively. Watching the green hat slowly fly back to Mary's side, Chunyu panicked. "Wait, isn't that the same green hat you wore at the beginning?" Seeing his shock, Mary flashed a proud grin. "Yes, this is my signature technique, the cuckold's gift." Chunyu immediately glared angrily at the judges. "Teacher, I accuse Mary of using an illegal weapon." But the chief examiner shook his head. "It doesn't count. The inspection team checked it beforehand. Mary's hat is classified as a clothing prop, not a weapon." Hearing this, Mary proudly said, "Of course it doesn't count. It's textile material. It looks just like ordinary fabric, but once I infuse force chi, its hardness changes. It can become razor sharp or extremely tough. This material is called zisei. It's produced only inside a certain concept realm gate. It's rare and sold by the milligram. It's known as nature's spongy tissue and is usually used for male enhancement surgeries." Shinyu exploded. "You're exploiting loopholes. Straight up cheating." But Mary waved her hand. No. I already declared the item and its material. The exam inspection team approved it. No problem at all." Shinyu pointed at her and cursed loudly. The chief examiner waved his hand. "Not our jurisdiction this year. But based on today, the review board will likely classify Zisei as a prohibited material starting next year." Seeing the examiner stop talking, Mary immediately circulated her force chi to control the green hat. The spinning hat rotated in midair, faster and faster, carrying an aura similar to a chi blade slash. In the blink of an eye, Chunyu fell behind again. The green hat circled wildly around the stage, and all he could do was dodge in embarrassment. Just as Chunyu tried to escape the situation, a sharp howling wind burst forth, and a chill swept past his cheek. Although he quickly tilted his head to evade, the green light grazed his scalp and sliced off dozens of his hairs. Alarm bells rang in Chunyu's head. Looks like she's good at technique-based arts. That makes her a caster, and long-range casters hate being punched in the face. He immediately dashed forward like a flickering shadow toward Mary. Chunyu quickly gathered his strength, thinking one punch to decide the match. "I won't give you any chance to attack." But just as he closed the distance, A flash of green light appeared beside Mary. Chinyu jolted in shock and stopped immediately. Looking down, he found himself already surrounded by several strands of green silk threads. He muttered inwardly, "That was close. If I had rushed in, I'd be getting surgery and dropping out on the spot." Seeing Mary's sinister expression, Chinyu snapped, "You're a demon, aren't you?" Trapped, Chinyu's face darkened. "Acting carefree, but you're vicious as a snake, big-chested girl. All your earlier attacks were just feints, weren't they? First, you used harmless melee to lower my guard. Then you used the hat for a sneak attack, and even explained its material on purpose, forcing all my attention onto the hat. But the real key is the green hat made of Zisei thread that you infused with force chi beforehand. Whether melee or hat-based long-range attacks. What you really did was silently spread countless hat threads all over the arena. Then you control those Zisei threads with force chi, forming a web-like blade field. So when I charge in, I'd be dead on the spot." After hearing his analysis, Mary snapped her fingers and giggled. "So smart, muscle boy. Looks like you don't only think with your lower half." Shinyu's face darkened as he gritted his teeth. "Rich, powerful, and smart. You really do whatever you want, don't you, Mary?" Mary let out a cold laugh, circulating her force chi again. "Wealth is also a form of strength. Give up, muscle boy." And after easily dodging the incoming hat again, Chinyu said, "Again? My dad taught me never to trip over the same stone twice." The next second, Chunyu's expression suddenly changed as he sensed something was wrong with his body. The green hat hovered right above his head and abruptly stopped, and a layer of green force chi wrapped around him, freezing him in place. Seeing his shocked expression, Mary replied, "Then your dad must be great, because you still tripped." Binding technique. As soon as she finished, the green hat whooshed down and landed firmly on Chinyu's head. The system chimed, "Cursed. Mobility plus 100%. Seeing Chunyu immobilized, Mary dispelled all the silk threads in the arena. The host exclaimed, "Incredible." Mary from first high used brilliant strategy to lock Chun-Yu completely in place. Watching Mary walk toward him, Chun-Yu gritted his teeth. "You really are a vicious woman." Mary laughed wildly. "Correct again, muscle man. Life is too fun." Meanwhile, the mayor praised excellent adaptability, brave, and clever. The judges all nodded in agreement. A remarkable student. Another top-tier talent this year. And in the admissions VIP area, all the top universities burst into excitement, insisting they must recruit Mary. Wanted to end the match quickly, Mary grabbed Chinyu by the collar and dragged him toward the edge. "Come on, darling. I ate at your house. Half a daughter-in-law shouldn't kill you." Reaching the boundary, Mary lifted Chinyu up and said casually, "I'll just toss you out and eliminate you." But in the next second, Mary suddenly flew into the air and fell outside the arena with a stunned expression. The audience froze, and the entire stadium went silent. The host shouted, "Chinyu has broken free from Mary's binding technique and pushed her out of the arena." Mary stared up at him in disbelief. "Why? Why could you break free from my binding technique? The green hat is still on your head." Chinyu scratched his nose. "Well, about that," he thought. "No way I'm explaining the curse. But honestly, her boobs really are huge." With that thought, Chinyu immediately changed the subject. "And you dare talk? You actually put a green hat on me." Mary snapped, "Stop running your mouth. You definitely used some dirty trick." Hearing that, Chinyu burst into laughter. "Aren't you the same? Scheming is a form of strength too." The host then announced loudly, "Congratulations to Chunyu from 7th High for winning the first match of today's official tournament." Next, we begin the second match. Number 20, Bahuang Yao, Force Chi Level 1, versus number 08, Zhao Mucha, Force Chi Level 1.2. The second official match now begins. Bahuang Yao was about to face an opponent whose Force Chi was higher than hers. Once Bahuang Yao stepped onto the stage, Zhao Mucha spoke confidently. "We're both seed players, but looks like we finally get to face each other, Bahuang Yao." Bahuang Yao replied firmly, "It doesn't matter who I face. I will win." Watching them, Chinyu murmured, "Bahuang Yao is up. Being from the Bahuang family, getting into the top 8 shouldn't be a problem, right?" But the principal beside him shook his head. "Don't say that. With the Bahuang family's strength, forget top 8. Winning the entire championship might not be impossible. Hearing this, Chenyu asked curiously, Principal, do you know Ba Huangyi? Ba Huang Yao's older brother. The principal chuckled, top scorer of the class of 20. Now, the student council president at Capital University. His strength is at least 50% higher than yours. Hearing that, Chenyu rubbed his chin, frowning. I've heard of the Ba Huang clan a bit, sure. The siblings are strong. Yeah, but aren't they just like any other famous family? Is their influence really that huge? Why does everyone hype them up like they're mythical? Hearing this, the principal's expression turned serious. It's not that the Ba Huang family holds great influence. It's that their bloodline is unusual. Chenyu grew curious. What do you mean by unusual? The principal answered gravely, I don't know the specifics, but the Ba Huang clan, their ancestors suffered a terrible fate. At that moment, the host suddenly shouted, Amazing! Zhao Mucha has launched a fierce assault on Ba Huang Yao with a slightly higher combat level. Zhao Mucha is taking the lead, but Ba Huang Yao refuses to back down and is counterattacking fiercely. Watching the clash on stage, the mayor raised a brow. Your daughter Yao is performing surprisingly well. You should be proud. Meanwhile, the force chi swirling off Zhao Mucha whipped up chaotic winds, striking again and again at Ba Huang Yao. But Ba Huang Yao stayed calm, weaving and dodging with precision. As the stronger fighter, Zhao Mucha moved with predatory speed, relentlessly chasing her down. Before long, Zhao Mucha seized on a flaw in Ba Huang Yao's movement and unleashed a barrage of high-intensity strikes, knocking her to the ground. Zhao Mucha then pulled back to create distance. He declared proudly, Sorry, Ba Huang Yao. Even if it kills me, I'm breaking into the top 8. The students in the stands exploded with excitement, shouting Zhao Mucha's name over and over. The host exclaimed Ba Huang Yao, a level 1 fighter, has been completely overwhelmed by level 1.2 Zhao Mucha and is now unconscious. It seems Zhao Mucha is about to advance to the top 8. Watching Ba Huang Yao struggling on the ground, Chenyu shook his head. She's too stubborn to give up that easily. Ba Huang Yao staggered her feet, murmuring, I have to take first place, the top scorer is mine. After all, her older brother had been the top scorer, earning all of their father's attention. 1303. She believed that as long as she became the top scorer too, she would finally receive the same attention. 1304. At that moment, a female referee stepped in front of her and asked, Are you okay? The gap in strength is too large. Do you want to continue? Hearing this, Ba Huang Yao trembled all over, struggling to stand straight, her eyes filled with a stubborn, unspoken resolve. She said, I'm fine. Come again. Zhao Mucha looked at her deeply, then raised his fists again. You're just throwing your life away. What's the point? 1308. Ba Huang Yao replied firmly, I've lived until today for this exam. I'm going to prove to him that I'm not inferior to my brother. Zhao Mucha's temple twitched. Seriously? Proving yourself to someone else? Why should your strength need their approval? Then Zhao Mucha charged once more, shouting, as expected of a pampered rich girl. So dramatic. I won't be holding back. The two immediately fell back into a fierce close-quarters fight.